everybody, it's another night of VCS English, here bringing you all the VCS action. It was an interesting night last night. We hope we return to Earth, as we were definitely space cadets last night. It's going to be a good bit of fun, though. Our first series perhaps promises a trip to Mars. We'll have to see how it goes. Welcome to the VCS English Analyst Desk. My name is Everyday. With me, as always, is Yulwei and 𝘁𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀. Yulwei, what did you think of yesterday's games?
Man, there were some interesting moves involved, for sure. Yeah, we had a lot of chaos. One of the highest kill days, I guess, ever. We had a 55 kill game. What else? Another 50 kill game, I believe. So, yeah, craziness.
I think we got the series maximum for kills in a game. The season maximum, rather.
Well, and we continue with the same teams today, so I think we can hope for another banger. Series, maybe day, I'm not sure. Mostly the same teams. GLX against BTS today, I feel like, will be more one-sided than some people expect.
Well, we can start straight onto that series if we want. It is our first one off the rank. Let's bring up our predictions. How have you guys lent on this one?
Yeah, I flip-flopped the big time after yesterday, but go first,
yes. Yeah, I initially had had GLX going in when I put my initial predictions down before the week started, but after the massive improvements we saw out of them yesterday, BTS are definitely taking this. Are definitely in the favorites for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I want to point out just quickly, you guys both changed your prediction. Told production in our chat, I've changed my prediction. Please make me look smart. I did this start of the week. Just putting it out there. I already was on the BTS train.
Is that something good or bad? I'm not sure.
Means I was right. But yeah, BTS, I mean, we did see ridiculous improvement out of BTS yesterday. And I think it actually patched up one of the biggest holes in their matchup, particularly against GLX. Because GLX, they've got a couple okay players. Blazers, he's fine. Blazers is fine. He might have been able to get one over on 𝘀cie last week. But what do we think about now, after 𝘀cie's performance yesterday against the super big time chicken?
I actually want to focus a little bit on GLX because I was kind of... I think I got blindsided by the series wins, especially from early in the season. And I never actually looked at their statistics too much because they are kind of middling to lower tier, which is to be expected from this team. But then yesterday after the games, I was like, let's look at the standings and actually look at the game score. And GLX has only won 6 games. That's as many games as 𝘀cie has won. And they've won 2 series, so that's 4 games already. In their losses, they've only won 2 games so far. While 𝘀𝘀cie, which now finally got to 2 wins as well, has 50% more wins. They have 9 wins, game wins, of course, to the 6 game wins for GLX. So they're actually very far ahead in game score, and that's why I changed my initial 2-1 GLX prediction to a 2-0 for BTS, because I really feel GLX has kind of blindsided me with their first 2 victories against BTS and 𝘀cie. And since then, it's been in a free fall. They are the worst team in the VCS. I'm actually confident in saying this now. GLX is pretty fair, pretty decidedly the worst team. Yeah.
It's a bold call, 𝘁𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀. What's your thought?
I definitely don't think that's an unreasonable call to make. We'll absolutely be able to decide one way or another how absurd that statement is today, because we get to see BTS and 𝘀cie play. 𝘀cie have been on the upswing, BTS absolutely on the upswing. 𝘀cie stepping back to the what we saw from him last split, and that's gotten me back on the wagon. I'm back on my nonsense. But so we're gonna have to see how they can actually how they pair up against the GLX, who still have the sort of weak bot lane. But yesterday was 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗀 really just running it down. They still have a problem of 𝘁𝗰𝗃 being, if you camp 𝘁𝗃, you can just win the game from that. And they still haven't figured out their jungle problem of who they want to start. And they are still leaning on to 𝘁 and trying to make him justify his paycheck, and he's not doing it.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason I could understand them playing 𝘁 over and over again is I think there's a leadership problem in the team. And this is obviously speculation, we don't know. But just the only logic I can think is they just need a strong voice. And 𝘁, he's not playing amazing this split, but he's not been too dreadful in most of the games. Some of them he has been, but most of them he's been fine. He is a veteran. He can bring a strong voice to the team. If he's not doing that, why are you not playing 𝘁𝗰𝗃 every single game?
Yeah, I feel like we can really see GLX's struggles from yesterday's games, where their early games were just abysmal. Their early games were so unbelievably bad. They actually had always had an uptick in performance from the 10 to 15 minute mark yesterday against Cerberus, where they stabilized, got back, got a few good plays in. But the first 10 minutes were so dreadfully bad that, yeah, the game was already lost at that point. So today, they're not playing the strongest early game team. In fact, 𝘀𝗀, a very bad early game team. So maybe they can get away with a very weak performance there. Maybe 𝘀𝗀 can not quite take advantage of 𝘁's tendencies, or maybe 𝘁𝗀𝗃's. And then GLX in the mid game, I don't know. We haven't seen them succeed too many times in the past few weeks, but it's possible. And this is a super important series for both teams, especially if GLX is able to eke out the victory here. They basically confirm confirm the 6th place, because they have a 2-0 head-to-head against GLX at that point, against 𝘀𝗀, of course, at that point. So it's a very important series for both teams. They need to win this one to avoid relegations.
Yeah, and I do pretty heavily. Obviously, we all predicted BTS. I actually predicted 2-1, but as I said, I did it before the week started. I probably would have changed it over to that 2-0. I think BTS is super favored here. I just kind of think they match up well in pretty much every role. 𝘁𝗶𝗹𝗀, can you think of any X factor for GLX that could actually pick up a win for them?
So, with 𝘁𝗀𝗃, GLX tends to have a bit of a stronger early game. They at least have a player that's willing to make moves on the map, work between him and 𝘀𝗀𝗋𝗋s, and that can get them an advantage. It may not reflect in like an overall gold lead for an advantage, but it is two individual advantages. If they can do that, and if they can protect 𝘁𝗰𝗃, because we saw if BTS plays like they did yesterday, they're gonna get on an early. They're gonna have lots of early game moves out of 𝘀𝗀, and they're gonna be going top lane. And not only is that beneficial for boosting up 𝘁𝗀𝗃, it's beneficial in just shutting down 𝘁𝗰𝗃, and that has been the way to play against this team time and time again. So I want 𝘁𝗀𝗃. I want him on an early game jungler, and I want him camping for 𝘁𝗃𝗃 rather than letting him be camped.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And Yulwei, where are you looking for BTS to close this one out? Where's the big matchups that are heavily in the 𝘀𝗀𝗃 favor?
I think we have to look at bot lane first and foremost. I think 𝘁𝗀𝗃 is actually a very strong bot lane, and you can always rely on them. Top lane with their new top laner 𝘁𝗀𝗃, who is more stable and has a better champion pool than TH, should have no problem whatsoever to just play weak side, maybe even attack 𝘁𝗃𝗃 from now on, here and there, I should say. But I think play to bot lane, try to pick stable solo lanes and then just outscale them. You have better team fighters, you have a much better AD carry, you have a much better support player. Your jungler is probably going to win early game, so I think try to be as solid as possible in the solo lanes and just win through jungle and bot lane.
Fair enough. Well, we are heading into Champion Select. GLX over on the blue side. BTS on the red. 𝘀𝗀 removed by the blue team. Always a weird one to see.
Yeah, this really does favor BTS because now if they want to, they can try and set up maybe a jungle trade. No, never mind. The 𝘀𝗀 has been banned, so they're not going to go for something like the 𝘀𝗀 for 𝘁𝗀𝗀 trade. If I'm BTS, I would ban 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀, depending on who's playing, of course.
There it is.
Because 𝘁𝗀's been a big... 𝘁𝗀 was actually able to sort of find ways to get GLX back into the game on that pick. I expect that to be a very contested pick. GLX thinks they're on red side.
Those are 3 red side bans, and they ban them on blue side. That's a very bad sign already. I mean, you always don't want to draw too many conclusions just from the first drafting phase, or ban phase, I should say. But yeah, this is not a good sign already. I think Tristana first pick would be the global thing to do. I guess jungle got pinched, so 𝘁𝗀 first pick makes a lot of sense as well. You can now respond with Tristana Thresh, Tristana whatever, to really put pressure into the bot lane. I think that fits and does good things for BTS, because they want to play through bot lane. So yeah, I would like to see... Never mind me.
So, getting a jungler makes sense in some respect. I would have much preferred it in that 3rd slot because you're not. They have their jungler. They're not taking one away from you. Unless you're going for 𝘀𝗀𝗃 or something where they can take that and flex that all around the map. So, but we're getting 𝘁𝗀. Dog shit.
Why did you give up Thresh here? Thresh is such an obvious answer into Tristana. You could have secured a Tristana Thresh, which maybe not the biggest synergy ever, but at least the enemy team can't pick Thresh then. So yeah, I hate this first opening for BTS. GLX secure nice, very solid champions that it can kind of fit every composition. So far they haven't really shown much, which I really like. They can adapt their composition to the enemy team a little bit more. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 on his Gnar hasn't been his greatest champ, but against the likes of 𝘁𝗀𝗃, I think he should be fine. So
yeah, if I'm BTS now, I'm looking. Never mind. I was gonna say look for something in that top lane that you can get a nice sort of point-and-click CC down onto that Gnar, combo it with the 𝘁𝗀𝗃 and really try and get her rolling, but. Because otherwise, if you can't really get that set up for the 𝘁𝗀𝗃, it doesn't do anything. It's not just stops being effective. It's a worse version of the 𝘁𝗀𝗃. And now we have to see what the response is. BTS looking to take away the AD carries.
if this was SGB drafting on red side, I think there would be a small possibility for a top lane flex Tristana here. Because Tristana is very good into Gnar in top lane, and he could definitely still go for a different ADC. I don't really expect 𝘁𝗀𝗃 to be able to pull that off, but we don't know much about him, so there's a slight chance, maybe a 10% chance for the Tristana top lane to really annihilate 𝘁𝗀𝗃, once again focus on him, because so far when you focus 𝘁𝗀𝗃, he gets put down. His KDA in the last 2 series very, very bad. At the 10 death game just last week, I believe. So 2 ADC bans suggests to me that this is going to be big Koro Tristana, which I don't hate. I think it's still a good choice.
It could indicate the flex though, and if you picked up a 𝘁𝗀𝗃 on this pick, it forces Shine to dig deep, like that's really true. Deep for an AD carry.
I mean, you can always go Aphelios here, because you already have the Thresh, so I feel like Aphelios is very easy.
I think Aphelios is a pretty clear setup. I think BTS has actually forced them to pick it as well. That would be fun. I don't know about that getting locked in quite yet, as 𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗃 presumably going up there for a giving him a little bit of a
I love the
𝘁𝗶𝗃. I like that a lot, and it will be the 𝘁𝗁𝗃. I think Aphelios was the obvious pick here, but they go for the 𝘁𝗁𝗃 instead.
It is worth mentioning Yin is in, by the way.
Oh yeah, new player for GLX.
don't know much. We don't know anything about him really.
No, I didn't
But-
play last split a few games. I remember seeing his name, but he wasn't anything.
He was a trainee on Charm and Secret at different points, but I don't think he's ever played. I think this is his debut.
Fair enough. Oh,
I
nice.
think
That's
this is his
interesting.
Debut, so.
Debut on a solo
game to
queue.
do it in.
Yeah, and on a solo queue stable on 𝘀𝘀, so you should have all the confidence. 𝘀𝘀cie has probably played 100 games already, at least this season. So we go back to the glory 𝘀𝘀. It's very AD focused composition for BTS. I look at this comp and imagine that the jungle was 𝘁𝗏. That would have been nice. But 𝘁𝘀 can actually pop off if she gets a kill or two early on. She can be the sole AP assassin on the composition. And yeah, in the end, 𝘀𝘀 deals like 20% magic damage too, so you can't really ignore the split damage from 𝘀𝘀 either. It's a very aggressive comp. I wouldn't have expected a BTS to go this aggressive, especially in the solo lanes. I wanted to see stable solo lanes and bot lane focus, and instead they have come out with a full solo lane focus. So, a little unsure about this one.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit weird. GLX is a lot more standard, I think. Like that is just a bog standard team comp right there. You could turn the nameplates on, and I wouldn't be able to tell you what team had picked that. Could have been anywhere in the world. While the BTS draft is very VCS, very aggressive, but as you said, not particularly BTS. So this game, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You said earlier, before the draft started, G-Media, it's their super early game where they really, really fall apart, that pre-15 minutes. If you do that against this comp, the game's over.
That's true. It's also not really BTS's style, so I'm kind of in two minds about this composition. I guess if you hard stomp this game, you really demoralize them, and they feel like they can't win anyway against you, because BTS is supposed to be the better late game team, so if you stomp as BTS in the first game, in the early game, then what can GLX even do in the second one? It's risky though, they have to win the series.
Well, Yulwei, put your money where your mouth is, and who is winning game one before we say goodbye?
Ooh, I feel like GLX got this one.
Very bold. Yep. He's gone against his own predictions. He predicted BTS 2-0, but with the draft, he's flipped.
This draft is not a very good setup on this top side for BTS, in my opinion. They don't really have anything to play through the 𝘁𝘁. They should have the aggressing lane, so 𝘁𝘁 can do the counter jungle route, but the issue is she's slow. I know that sounds weird, but she's slow against the Lilia.
Man, this is so tragic that we don't have game sounds, and Elio's been ringing that cowbell. This is the true tragedy. Yeah. Riot, please make us official so we can have the cowbell.
I need to invest. Just need to go buy a cowbell so we can do it ourselves. But yeah, as I was saying, the leash is actually a good start to try and give 𝘀𝘀 that ability to get in and make use of these pushing lanes. But if they're not able to get anything to happen, as Ryuk's just looking to bully 𝘀𝘀 away from the wave, not really looking for the kill here or anything, just trying to deny as much experience as possible. Unfortunately, Ryuk betrayed by his own minion, who just decided to chase down 𝘀𝘀 and give him all the experience. So, despite Ryuk's best efforts, it's actually okay for 𝘀𝘀. He is fine in this matchup right now.
Well, for now, we'll have to see when the next rotation of spells come in from Jays. Should be a very dominating lane for the Jace, no question. Ryu was a bit of a mixed bag yesterday, if we're honest.
Yes. Not the greatest performance out of him, but
He played well in Game 3. He played well in Game 3.
Had a good game in Game 1 and 3. Had a pretty bad game 2.
Yeah, he was pretty shocking. He was pretty shocking in Game 2.
Once he got out of lane, he was a lot better, but he had a very rough time up against 𝘀𝘀. Luckily for him, 𝘀𝘀 is no 𝘀𝘀, so
exactly
should have a much better time.
Yeah, like it was definitely a trial by fire, debuting up against 𝘀𝘀, one of the best top laners in the league. Yeah, game 2, he nearly got Flame Horizoned. It was pretty terrible, but 𝘀𝗀𝗃, as you said, is not 𝘂𝗧. He is merely 3. And let's see if 𝘁𝗀 can make him free, or if he will, just go back and forth in lane. At the moment, it does seem like it's just going to be Jace pushing in. If they want to set up a dive, they could. 𝘁 does have control of the top side, but it would be very risky.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗏 not exactly having their best gank options into a Jace lane because, well, Jace doesn't have any CC to set up the spear. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 can just hop away from it as it comes in. So if 𝘁𝗏's going anywhere, it'll be mid to bot lane, but realistically, I think their main job here is to just keep their eye on 𝘁 and make sure they aren't able to get anything done on the Lilia.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't know. I think that's definitely part of it. I think that's going to be really important. Don't get me wrong. Ooh, hang on. Hook landing, but are they going to actually go for this counter engage, or is this 𝘁𝗏 just doing some zoning? The jump forward. Here they go. A flash used by 𝘁𝗏. Perhaps a little bit over aggressively, and Yin with an excellent flay, but unfortunately it wasn't communicated very well. Shine didn't trust his support. He burned his flash.
I think that's still something you probably do mostly out of reaction rather than
yeah. It's not necessarily a misplay. It's just unfortunate.
It is also a brand new lane pairing.
Yeah,
they've not been playing together that long, so yeah, you rely a lot more on your instincts there. And it was a good turnaround from BTS. 𝘁𝗏 not really upset he has to use his flash. He's got the Hex flash after all. 𝘁𝗏 gonna be chased down a little bit, but good dodging. Means 𝘀𝗀𝗃's not gonna get a lot done as 𝘁𝗏 tries to back for some mana.
Yeah, we'll make sure the tower crashes. The wave crashes into the tower, I should say. It's not the tower moving. I think the big thing in the bot lane there, and like I agree. I don't blame Shine. Like, fair enough to press flash there. It's just unfortunate because Yin hitting that flay on both of them actually would have meant they won the summoner spell trade pretty hard. But unfortunately, yeah, muscle memory kicked in, and BTS did actually come out on top because their ADC still has a flash.
Yeah, absolutely. And
getting some damage down. Oh, using the Vanguard's Edge. Blaze immediately flashing away, using the shockwave as well. 𝘁𝗏 is licking his lips at getting that flash burnt.
Yeah, that's such a good setup. Now that's something 𝘀𝗃𝗃 can easily come punish at a later date. Still got the next 5 minutes. Got to keep a good eye on 𝘁𝗏. They have a ward on the dragon, so GLX. They may try to make use of this bot lane pressure to go for it, but they will be spotted out by the Burst the Sky. But speaking of 𝘁, 𝘀𝗃𝗃 rather.
Okay, you just saw 𝘁 and went, oh, 𝘁𝗏. Sorry, other way around.
Yeah,
You saw 𝘁𝗏 and went, oh, 𝘁. Not quite. 𝘁 is here to make sure that his mid laner is safe. 𝘁𝗏 got chunked very low. Blaze is playing the counter very well there. Make sure to get the wave pushed in. 𝘁𝗏 doesn't have TP, so it really doesn't want to back right now. But we might have a bit of a scrap over the scuttle. Some sort of scrupple.
Yes.
𝘀𝗃𝗃 getting a lot of damage onto 𝘁. Oh, he's going to dive back in. Throws the spear. Won't hit. But this does give them control over the crab. And they'll have a nice little lunch here. The bot lane from BTS coming up to help out the spear. Hitting spear on Scuttle Crab is basically impossible. And 𝘀𝗃𝗃 happy to get that one.
Yeah, BTS having the advantage and experience in this bot lane means that trying to fight, especially with the drop that 𝘀𝗃𝗃 managed to get onto 𝘁, means that absolutely no contest. They get to go and about their merry day. And now it's going to be the first exchange of blue buffs. It's going to try and give them over to Blazers, and presumably 𝘁𝗏's going to go pick one up for himself after this wave.
I don't think so. No. I think you let 𝘁𝗏 keep it in this. Aurelia doesn't need blue buff that much. Her cooldown's not long.
But her mana pool. You just want to spam Qs.
Well, if you do it right, you don't use mana.
Fair. But anyway, blue buff given over to Blazers. 𝘁𝗏's got one for her own, and we'll see an instant rotate out of 𝘁𝗀 on this back. They are looking to set up for this Rift Herald. That's where they've decided their bread is buttered. They don't care too much about the early Drakes. They're not trying to stack them up. They want to get vision down, take that, convert that into gold, maybe push open this top lane, maybe push open this mid lane, but that's realistically where these are going to go. There's a back coming from 𝘀𝗀𝗃𝗀, so he may make his way into the top side.
Yeah. That's really good. Something we've been keeping an eye on after a certain team made some very bad decisions is how the bot lanes go about their switch for Herald. And that was pretty much... Oh, actually, they've called it off. 𝘀𝗀𝗃𝗀's going back to the bot lane. They've realized they haven't set it up fast enough, and they would have lost out on the Shelly bargain. I like teams actually adjusting, not doing what Flash did, dig their heels in and instantly lose a game off the back of it. Go watch Yulwei in hindsight on YouTube.
Yeah, that's very good. They've actually decided to call off the play entirely. They're not going for this Rift Herald at all. They've given up the pressure. 𝘁𝗀's backed off. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 is now in this bot lane while Shine has rotated up. And BTS, what they need to do is try their best to delay this, but they're not in position. 𝘁𝗀's back in base. They have completely scuffed the communication on this. They're going to get a couple of... They're not even going to get a play in the bot lane as 𝘁𝗀's makes his way down.
They would probably get one. 𝘁𝗀's has to run away from this collapse. Oh, they could get a kill here. Yep, there it is. Alistar going in, sets up 𝘀𝗀𝗃. The shockwave is fantastic, though. 𝘁𝗀's is out of there, but not fast enough. The kitty has claws, jumps on forward. First blood secured. A couple tower plates as well, and it looked like a fumble from BTS, but they managed to recover and charge on forward.
Yeah, luckily for them, they have a Tristana, so they don't need to spend too much time on that turret to get a bit of value out of it. So they're going to pick up the 2 plates, they're picking up the kills, and we just see here good work from 𝘁𝗀. Instant flash pulverize combination. Nice try from the shockwave, but walks onto the trap. That is the crucial thing. Gives the reset for the jump, gives the extended range, and lets 𝘀𝗀𝗃 flash on top of...
Sorry, was caught unable to speak for a moment there.
It's all good.
𝘁𝗀 shoving in still. 𝘀𝗀 doing pretty well to stay mostly even with this Jace. He's actually almost dead even. And so the Herald summoned up in the mid lane. They want to give the gold over to 𝘁𝗀's. Gets 160. Not really winning out on the trade for Shelly because of that first blood. If the first blood hadn't happened, it would have been a pretty good trade, but unfortunate things here for BTS. For GLX. BTS also did pick up the Infernal Drake. We didn't mention it, but they picked it up.
Yeah, so overall, I think the passive play is mostly gold even. Just that dragon on top of it, plus a few small CS leads, giving the small gold advantage to BTS. Just trying to stop the backs there with that Prey Seeker. And what comes next? There's not a lot to do on the map at the moment, so we just need to see a bit more pressure coming out of 𝘁𝗀 and 𝘀𝗀𝗃 working together, trying to force advantages, try and let 𝘁𝗀 continue to punish. He's on this Jace. He's not really building a lead at all. He's only got like 3 CS lead on the 𝘁. The 𝘁 should really be much more useful as the game goes on. So it's... This Jace pick not really working out. May need some more attention up there to try and keep this 𝘁 down.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I do think 𝘁𝗀 at the moment is still doing a decent job containing him. I'm a little bit worried though, as Yulwei pointed out on our analyst desk, and you said it as well, BTS has the... Ooh, 𝘁𝗀's, careful. He walked into that sphere, but does survive. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 pokes their head in. The blue buff will reset. There should be a steal away for BTS unless GLX want to fight for it.
𝘀𝗀's poking his head in, but the wave is crashing, so he might just turn around.
4 though. I think BTS just gonna give it up. There's no point risking everything over a blue buff. Yep. Oh no.
Oh, not
They deny the handoff though. It goes over to 𝘁𝗀. 𝘁𝗀's doesn't get the blue buff there. So very, very small victory, but a victory all the same. What I was going to say before that little passage of play was that you both identified that BTS had to take the initiative, had to be the ones getting ahead early just due to their composition. They're only 800 gold ahead. Is that enough?
I do not think so. I think realistically this comp... I mean, it can. Their team fighting isn't exactly the worst. It's just much harder to execute. They have a lot of poke to set up for if they're trying to set up objectives, so they can harass down, then let 𝘀𝗀𝗃 and 𝘀𝗀ie go in for the executes. But it's just much harder to pull off that sort of team fight than the sort of back to front that GLX can set up with the 𝗀and the 𝘁𝗍 being sort of in your face, while 𝘁𝑎𝑧𝑒s and 𝘁𝑠hinedo a bit more of a harass from distance. So yeah, you really do want BTS to be building up a lead because there's that pain of execution. And as time goes on, it falls more and more into 𝘀𝗀𝗃 and 𝘁𝗀ie's hands because the top two members of the map aren't going to be doing a hell of a lot besides that poke.
Yeah, exactly. Ryuk not far enough ahead to really be that Jace 1v5, but 𝘁𝗀ie wants to go for that 1v5 as he dives forward, but there is a lilting lullaby into a shockwave. BTS may have gone one bridge too far, but never mind, they're going to turn it around 1-for-1. 𝘁𝗍𝑠 goes down to the bomb as well. 2-for-1. It looked dreadful. I thought the Orianna 𝘁𝗍 combo was enough, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. That good turnaround, nice room for 𝘀𝗀𝗃, getting the flash onto 𝘁𝗍𝑠 and enough damage coming out from the duo to shut down the Thresh. Right, yeah, the Thresh. And so, really, 𝘁𝗀ie just goes in very aggressively, and unfortunately, 𝘀𝗀𝗃's spear misses, and the combo was very good, but here 𝘀𝗀𝗃 joins in, flashes to get the last amount of damage out onto 𝘁𝗍𝑠.
𝘀𝗀𝗃 was actually super clutch there. If his heal saved...
Really clutch, yeah.
His heal saved 𝘀𝗀𝗃 for long enough to get the kill. I don't think they get that kill if he doesn't get close enough to heal there. Well done by 𝘀𝗀𝗃.
Yeah, it looked very, very clutch out. It was a lot of clutch moments. There was a dodge on the 𝘁𝗀𝗃 at the end from 𝘁𝗀ie. Plus, finding that life back from the 𝘁𝗀𝗃 King to stop the damage from the dot after 𝘁 lands the swell seed. So, it's all just very coming down to inches, but those inches are favoring BTS as they pick up this crab and are likely going to turn it into a dragon. And somewhere along the way, first brick went down because Tristana does a lot of tower damage.
Yeah, that just happened about 10 seconds ago.
𝘀𝗀𝗃
on a tower. Yin caught out, but 𝘀𝗀𝗃 doesn't quite have the damage. Oh, okay, well, he does if Yin doesn't dodge a spear. Throwing that hook.
Yeah.
It was a death sentence. Just not the way it normally goes. Thresh goes down, the inner tower goes down, and hey, I said, well, is 800 gold ahead enough? Well, 5k is.
Yeah, the BTS absolutely exploding the lead open, but there's still a Rift Herald in the pocket of Sun. They can, if they come up big on a fight, they can turn that gold lead right back around as BTS moves to take the second dragon. If I'm them, I'm probably hoping not a Mountain Drake, so that way if you lose a Drake here or there, it doesn't ruin your poke. Lucky them.
Yep. They come out on top there. Not too bad as 𝘁𝗀𝗃 backing off. Yin, okay.
Yin looking for the prediction to the dodge down, but
no harm, no foul.
That's the hard thing with Thresh. You have to predict more than aim because of how long your windup is.
Yeah, it's no harm, no foul. Why not? He went for a miracle hook. If it hit, maybe you get a kill, but if you miss, it doesn't matter. He was backing anyway. As they will shove in the mid lane. This is going to be the second Herald dedicated to the mid lane tower. Not a very good use of resource. It'll be enough. It will go down, but like you had to use 2 Heralds to get the mid lane tower. I don't think things are going very well for you. That's a lot of resources to get not much. Yeah, GLX need to begin to fight back in this game. We are cresting the 18-minute mark. we expected BTS to have the run of the early game, but as Yulwei said, if BTS can pick an early game comp and get very far ahead and win that way, coming into this series, we thought BTS was the better late game team. And this is exactly what Yulwei said. It's like, this actually might just be, what does GLX do in this series? If they're not better early game, if they're not better late game, you kind of just lose.
Yeah, now we're finally seeing BTS take their way to the top side. And if you... I mean, we keep saying his name. 𝘀𝗰𝗄 should be a way to shore up that early game weakness, because 𝘁 has been very... I mean, 𝘁 has had an alright early game. He's had decent tracks on Drakthar. It's just that last passage... It's only been like the last 2 passages of play that have really catapulted BTS into the lead. So maybe 𝘀𝗰𝗄 doesn't fix it as much as, you know, we would hope, but... or isn't as much of an improvement over 𝘁, but I still think the aggression that he puts forth would be something that GLX needs to sort of fight back against this, not let themselves fall far behind. Then, then try and win before the sort of ADC diff comes into play in the late game. Because 𝘁𝗀𝗀 so far, one of our better ADCs, realistically, he's been playing very well so far. And 𝘁𝗀, not so hot. Not the best.
That's kind of how he's been, but he's doing okay this game. He's only a little bit behind, and considering his whole team's behind, it's kind of expected. Overall, we just have to keep seeing how this goes. The Mana Moon is being built on the 𝘂ce, which I like to see. Sometimes VCS 𝘂ces didn't build that, even though it was clearly the correct choice. So I'm glad 𝘁𝗀𝗄𝗃 is stacking that one up. Will actually allow him to scale a little bit. Actually, fairly well. Muramana 𝘂ce actually scales pretty well.
It's especially with the item changes. The Muramana is basically mandatory now because you don't really have as many options in your items to go for. So you really just need to pick. You're just going to pick that up for lack of anything else to take.
That has never stopped in the VCS, and you know it.
I think it has for 𝘂ce, because at least this does damage, whereas the VCS just doesn't like going for the options that don't do damage.
True. Hopefully it has, because I'll be frustrated if not. Down on the bot side, 𝘀𝗀𝗃 managing to hold his own up against 𝘁𝗀𝗃. The stride break used to slow him down. I might have jinxed it a little bit, but 𝘁𝗀 is there. The Prey Seeker is spotted, so the 𝘂ce will back off.
Yeah, 𝘀𝗀𝗃 trying to bait in the fight, and so 𝘁𝗀 can come in and clean it up. But overall, this 1-3-1 is working out extremely well for BTS. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 staying really far back, in part because he's kind of not able to bully 𝘀𝗀𝗃 as much now that the armor's been built, and also because what use does he have pushing in the spot lane? Dragon's up in 30 seconds, so now he's resetting, heading up towards the top side. But otherwise, there's no towers to take. 𝘂𝗧e just needs to sit there and stop 𝘀𝗀𝗃 from being useful. I'm a little bit confused by these lane assignments, but 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗃 on a
has
teleport makes a lot more sense than a 𝘂𝗧e on a flank. So I don't hate it.
They want to have 𝘂𝗧e here to be landing poke before the fight, like right there, bang, already valuable. The Drake is alive. 𝘁𝗀 down to 2/3 HP. Probably just gives BTS priority already. They don't even have to commit the Irelia.
That's 2 towers taken very quickly. Gonna rotate that straight into Soul Point, and BTS these past few minutes just making a lot of good moves. And that's giving them the advantage, it's giving them the objectives. They've only had to really give up the Heralds and the mid tower because of that. And it's still only a 4k gold lead, but the momentum swing and the pressure being put down makes it so much more than the gold suggests.
Very true, and they are still just forcing 𝘀𝗀𝗃 to constantly be in this bottom lane. Has not been able to do anything this game. As you can see here, 0-0-0. to be fair, as is 𝘀𝘀. But we have seen 𝘀𝘀 landing some pretty crucial bits of poke. Hasn't been getting the kills, but has been making fights. Not 𝘀𝑺, incredibly aggressive, going straight in. The Lantern, though, is a pretty good spell. Oh, 𝘀𝑀ry on the flank. He misses the ult, though. Yin flashing over the wall, and this has all gone wrong. 𝘀𝑀ry low now. Tagged up by the Lilia, lilting Lullaby, 𝘂𝑺 going down. 𝘁𝑐𝗰𝗵 firing away. The artillery activated. 𝘀𝘀 on the run. Shock Blast back into the team. Doesn't do enough damage. 𝘁𝗀𝗃, he's about to go mega. 𝘀𝑺 in trouble. Has the Alistar ult running. He's just going to play defense. Make sure that no one else has to die. 1-for-1 overall. A botched engage from BTS.
It actually works out completely fine for BTS. It's a 1-for-1 overall, which you don't really want to take, but you got the ADC for the support. So it sort of works out even because, you know, a trade when you're behind is better for you, but overall,
There's
very
no
solid.
though. Like,
there is no objectives, so it's a bit of gold traded back, but it's another kill onto Tristana compared to a kill on the Orianna, which, yeah, you want Orianna getting some kills, but the Tristana, I think that's where this is make or break, and that is far more important. And here we see 𝘀𝑺 getting a little bit ahead of himself, but what actually matters is, with this
𝘀𝑀ry whipping
engagement,
this ult is... Oh,
he
it was
gets
flash.
the
It was-
flash from 𝘁. That's crucial because when 𝘁 re-engages onto 𝘀𝑀ry, it means he has no escape when 𝘁𝑀ry comes in to clean him up. And so it looks a bit silly from 𝘀𝑀ry, but it's actually it actually leads to a massive win for them. Here, 𝘀𝑐𝗃 and 𝘀𝑺 just sort of stay around a bit too long. 𝘀𝑺 decides to give himself up so no one else goes down, and that's good. That's what you do when you're a cow. You just go to the slaughterhouse so others may thrive.
Don't lose yourself, 𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗹𝘀. If that cow could, he would kill me and everyone you love.
And just don't give him a gun. That's all I ask.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I think 𝘀𝑺 just didn't realize how close Yin was. The Lantern was always going to stop that initiation, but in the end, as you said, 1-for-1. I don't think it really swings too hard for either team. 𝘀𝗃 had the Spidey senses tingling, knew something was going on in that bush. Still playing very dangerous, but he's not going to get caught out. Doing well, playing on the edge of the engage range.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're getting a bit of a crash into the bot side, so putting on the pressure is 𝘀𝘀. However, unfortunately, there's not anything really he can take. He's not wanting to risk hanging under the inhibitor turret. The entire bot side jungle is cleared, so it's just kind of trying to draw resources away from the Baron so BTS can secure some vision. Unfortunately, you can't deny crab vision once it's been taken, so they have to just wait a little bit, and then maybe they try and force something now that 𝘀𝘀's, rather 𝘁𝗀𝗃's Mega Knight has completely disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, this is just baiting. Like, they just want the fight at this point, but 𝘀𝗃 are actually taking a fair bit of Baron damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baiting a
Why
fight
not? I
is
think doing a damage test. They did a damage test. I don't mind that. There's nothing else on the map.
baiting the fight is very hard for BTS because they don't have that tanky member besides 𝘀𝑺. And even then, he's not the tankiest, going for the Shurelya's rather than a Locket or something along those, or a 𝘁𝗃, something along those lines. Which means, yeah, they have to be very careful around these Barons. They have to either commit to the take entirely, or they can't wait too long if they're looking for a turn. They need to commit or turn off. If it takes more than like 2 minutes or more than like 30 seconds for the other team to respond.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think going to the Baron, it's fine. I'd like to see them keep doing it. Because if they catch GLX flat-footed at all, it's a 3-item Tristana. Big Koro is large Koro.
But they get their fight anyway. Because 10 seconds.
It's Soul. Yeah.
It's Soul.
Ooh, 𝘀𝗃 is tagged by Lilia, but the death sentence misses.
Yeah, on half
They
health.
do not follow up. Yep, Yin chunked it down. 𝘀𝗃 again hit by a swirl seed. Sorn tracking him very well. He's, of course, very important. It's a smite fight. GLX has positioning on the dragon. BTS, though, popping the Shurelya's. Will they be able to get in time for the Drake? No. And they won't get the fight. GLX just completely win this passage of play. Shockwave
Yeah,
being
absolutely. used
used from Blazers. I think a little bit wishful thinking.
Much. But yeah, it's really unfortunate for that if that hits, that could have been a ultimate from Shine.
That Shockwave was a pretty big mistake because they could just get onto Baron, and now you don't have the Shockwave for the Baron pit.
Unfortunately for BTS, there's a ward on the pit, so they can bait all they want, but GLX aren't going to take it. They know no one's doing Baron. They don't have to go anywhere near that pit. And this vision control from BTS is they have their wards down. They have very good vision for themselves, but they haven't done very well in denying that of GLX's. So they can't really make these bluffs because they are just spotted out entirely. They haven't swiped the Baron pit.
Oh, they didn't even spot it with that Oracle plant.
Just put a pink in the pit. Pink the pit.
They don't have one at the moment. They don't have a pink.
Well,
They haven't gone back in a while. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 just went back and picked up two pink wards, or red wards. They just didn't have one for ages.
I know. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, yeah, that's just more what they need to do. They need to make sure that the pit is clear. Pinks don't always hit everything, but that ward definitely just gets removed by a pink ward. So that one cheeky ward saves GLX a lot of bother there because they know they don't have to bother. They don't have to peek into the Baron, and it's finally spotted on the scryers.
Yep, the hero ward, the 6th player for GLX, finally falls. Everyone, please salute Mr. Ward. F's in chat. But yeah, as you're saying, it did so much there. The fact that they just did not have to face check, they knew the Baron wasn't pulled. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 coming in again, super far ahead of the rest of the team. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 just cannot follow up. The 𝘀𝗀's going to get chunked down, but so much healing is thrown his way. This is a bad passage of play. BTS is falling apart here in this mid to late game. They lose a tower on the bot side, and they haven't been able to make anything happen.
Now they were going for the Baron. That's basically all they can do right now. 𝘀𝗀𝗀's got a decent flank, but they have to keep an eye on Sorn. They don't have a good way to shut him out.
Teleport. There's the 𝘀𝗀𝗀 ult going in on Blazers. Look how deep he's going. He has to get the kill here. He manages to get it. Well, 𝘀𝗀𝗀 does. Setting up off the damage, but there's the 𝘁𝗀𝗀 ult over onto the side. Had the tag. 𝘀𝗀𝗀's the next target. The shutdown comes on in, and GLX suddenly are winning this fight. They're 3k down, but big 𝘀𝗀𝗀 is carrying basically all of that lead. Can they get forward onto him? There's still a Gnar available. There's the rock. As soon as you come out of Zhonya's, you're getting smacked into the wall. There it is, into the death sentence, but they miss everything. It doesn't matter. Big 𝘀𝗀𝗀 goes down. Ryuk is the only one to limp away. He'll get a shutdown back onto 𝘁𝗀𝗀, but it doesn't matter. That's GLX getting Baron, and it's just shocking play out of BTS.
Ryuk has to teleport in and just try and harass them off. He's gonna back now. He has it. If he teleports straight to the ward behind the Baron pit, he can either go for a Miracle Steal or at least try to kill them. He's teleporting so far away, though. He scuffed it.
I looked away because I thought he didn't get it, and then you reacted.
He died as it hit. Okay, it was very close.
That is a huge swing back for GLX. They're now only 700 gold down at this stage in the game. That's nothing. And let's look out. What is 𝘀𝗀𝗀 doing?
𝘀𝗀𝗀 is on the flank. He sees Shine away. Sorry, not Shine. Blazers away from the rest of his team. So he goes in, but he doesn't call it out properly. So the rest of his team is just left fiddling around, not doing anything. It's only by pure chance that they get another kill back up here when 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀 sort of overreaches.
Massive waste of an hourglass, by the way.
Yeah, it's the thing with hourglass is it's really bad for dodging CC like the boulder because it just CCs yourself. It's a terrible decision, and Big 𝘀𝗀𝗀 ends up losing his hourglass and losing his life there regardless. Now there's a Baron there. BTS do not have very strong wave clear at all, so this Baron can do quite a lot and probably win GLX the game just off this. Not like actually the game, but puts them in a good gold lead position.
Yeah, sets them up to win the game. I knew what you meant. And they do pick up that tower. Ryuk thunking in some poke on the side. Gotta say, this Jace not been super impactful. That one kill onto 𝘁𝗀, I mean, if someone gives you a Christmas present, you'd be rude not to take it. 𝘀𝗀ie now being chased down. The Mega Gnar is available. Into the wall goes 𝘀𝗀ie. The shield bow procs, but you actually have to be able to hit someone to heal. And the Ryuk goes down as well. And the BTS collapse is happening. 𝘁𝗀e trying to make something happen off to the side, but he will be taken down, chopped into steaks. And my word, this is a disaster. What a thrown game from BTS.
It's hard to really say it was a throw because BTS, they were sort of struggling to get anything done, and it's because their only real form of engage is this 𝘚lister. That's not the best engage. 𝘀𝗀 wasn't able to get the 𝘁𝗎𝗎 sort of snowballing out of control. They weren't able to get the Jace snowballing out of control. So it means their engage options are limited. They can't set up fights in a way that lets 𝘁𝗀 deal the damage he needs to do. Because they're just so squishy and they collapse under the weight of 𝘁 and 𝘁𝗀 being able to just jump in the front. 𝘁 being pseudo tanky with the Zhonya's and eventually this demonic embrace. It's just they cannot stand up in these front to back team fights, and that's all they're able to get because they don't have the pick tools.
Yeah,
they just have 1v1 abilities.
Yeah, they had to get very far ahead in the early game. They did, but then they didn't snowball that lead. They just kind of sat on the slopes. Let's have a look at how this one played out. It was just 𝘀𝗀ie caught out once again. A good shockwave to confirm the kill. 𝘁𝗀 playing really well in the back half of this game on the Gnar.
Yeah, very strong engaged. They're just sort of running 𝘀𝗀ie down as my stream freezes a lot. Yeah, just fine. runs down 𝘀𝗀ie, runs down 𝘁𝗀e. Yeah. And then, so it's coming down to the fact that BTS has to sort of try and play the 1-3-1. Unfortunately, they don't have the best sort of 1-3-1 setup because 𝘁𝗎𝗎 is garbage in a 1-3-1. She doesn't provide anything to either side. No CC to set up kills in the side lane, no wave clear to defend in the core, and it just means GLX gets to bully their way in as a group. We've got sort of the rage splitting Irelia going on down there, but that's going to be on
shockwave
by 𝘁𝗀, but it...
Well, not yet. If they could deny that back, they actually don't manage to, unfortunately, but BTS actually comes out with that inhib tower. Not the worst little split from Irelia. Teleport.
Yeah,
Ooh,
so
this is big. This actually could change the game. This is massive. He gets hooked though. Oh, Yin might have saved them. They go in onto Blaze's Foolish Duet lands, but Yin gets the exhaust. 𝘀𝗀ie has been completely shut down. 𝘁𝗀 with a big Gnar into the wall. He should fall regardless. 𝘁𝗀 firing away. They can't get the kills though. 𝘁𝗀 will not get a reset. 𝘁 went in, tags everyone up. No lilting lullaby. And it's all shine all the time. Taking them down. 𝘁𝗀 gets one. And 𝘁𝗀, he tries to be a hero, but he's a 0! Removed from the map, and it's an ace for GLX.
And that's going to be the game. Super Minions are barreling down the mid lane. They have all the damage dealers up. They can just walk it down. Yin coming up huge on this final fight, and he's basically won them the game off his picks. This Fresh has to be on the bench. They might not have the wave in time.
Yeah, no, they have super minions coming. They've got this. Easy peasy.
Still 20s.
Easy peasy. As they will clean it up. They do go 1-0 up. GLX bouncing back after a terrible performance yesterday. And BTS, if you want to play like that, maybe go sign up for a baseball team, because that was one of the greatest throws I've ever seen. 3-pointers being sunk all day. Not the best performance whatsoever out of BTS.
So realistically, I think a lot of BTS's issues that game can be solved by a better draft. Jace and Italy do not synergize together. They poke very well, but they can't play off each other. I think you'll be on blue side this time, so you should be able to snatch yourself a much better jungler. I think, yeah, more CC or engage. That's what BTS needs to take the victory.
Fair enough. Well, we'll have to see if they can put that together. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the VCS English analyst desk. Don't go anywhere. We'll have to see if GLX can close the series out or if BTS will fire back. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the VCS English Analyst Desk. It was GLX picking up the win. BTS not able to hold on to their early game lead. Yulwei, welcome back. What was your take on game one?
I feel like exactly what I predicted in draft happened. That BTS went a little too hard in the early game, or for an early game composition, and that's not really their style. Though in the first 10 minutes they looked very good. In the first 15 minutes, even they actually looked like they would pull this off. They looked like they were the way better team. But then, yeah, I think they just lost some steam. They didn't know how to execute these kind of compositions, where their bread and butter is very different. Their bread and butter is exactly what GLX played in this game. Team fights, set up around objectives, scale into 30 minutes and try to win from there. This is what BTS is good at. Even at the start of the season, they were good at this. So it's slightly confusing why their coaches or their whole staff, maybe the players, came in today in this super important series. They have to win this one. And said, yeah, let's just throw everything out the window. We just won a series yesterday against a top team. Let's play a completely different style against this team. I just don't understand what's going on.
Well, you see, they didn't know what to do with that extra ban and banned the 𝘁𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀.
Yeah.
They thought they were picking, you see. They're like, oh, we've got this thing. We'll pick something. Oh, that's a ban. I don't know.
It wasn't great. I mean, BTS should have won that game. Like, let's be real. I think a better team wins that game. I was worried, and I mentioned it on cast, that they weren't far enough ahead. They hadn't accelerated enough. Then they won a big team fight and had a 4K gold lead. I'm like, okay, that should be game. You just ride that. 1-3 won it. And, nope. They did not. They did not.
Yeah, these kind of games are the games where people think 𝘁𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗀 is a bad pick, because bad teams can't do stuff around 𝘁𝗶𝗃. Where the champ brings so much pressure, such an insane amount of early game damage, and even later on with the current builds, you basically turn into an ADC in late game team fights. And he has poke, he has insane siege, he can win almost every side lane. But if you don't use him to do anything, if you just run into the 𝗀𝗃, into the meat grinder at objective fights, of course 𝗀𝗃 is going to be a better champion. So this is one of the gripes I have with communities hating on 𝘁𝗶𝗃, because, yeah, bad teams are not going to be able to do stuff with 𝘁𝗶𝗃.
Yeah,
and immediately BTS bans the 𝗀𝗃. That is pretty fun.
If you pick 𝘁𝗶𝗃, you have to play towards it, and BTS did the complete opposite. That was left in 1v1 the entire time, and Ryuk wasn't even able to push a strong lead out of it. So, gotta completely change it up. BTS deciding to ban Nidalee and Lilia. Do not want to force themselves into playing an AP jungler. Do not want to trick themselves into that hole. Good to see where they will go from there. I expect the 𝘁𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 will be the first pick for BTS this time around. 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃 looked insane on it, and the team looked like they knew how to play around that much better than the Nidalee.
𝘁𝗃𝗃 is open.
𝘁𝗃𝗃 is open too. There is that.
Yeah, we're still on 11-4 here, so even though 𝘁𝗃𝗃 has kind of dropped in priority in other leagues, I think on 11.4, it's straight up a mistake to go 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃 over 𝘁𝗃𝗃. I think 𝘁𝗃𝗃 on 11.4 is still insanely broken. So, yeah, I think these kind of draft tendencies we can see in the VCS from time to time are kind of a function of this league being behind in patches. They've probably played on 11.5 longer for now. They've looked at some other leagues on 11.5 and came to the conclusion, okay, other leagues are moving to 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃 first pick. We have to move to 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃 first pick too. But we are a patch behind, so 𝘁𝗃𝗃 is still broken. I don't really like this. But I like what GLX did here. Just deny the Tristana Thresh. This is something BTS could have secured last game, but instead, they just passed up on it. And it cost them big time.
It did. And I just want to comment on the 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃 point. I think 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is better for BTS in particular, but GLX, I think, smart not to ban the 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃 so they can trade it. 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃 is going to be the lock-in, and Rakan is okay.
This has sort of been the option that BTS has gone to against the Tristana. They don't mind the matchup into the Thresh, even though they are going to get bullied in lane quite a lot. The matchup is just so at such a big range disadvantage. But they really like what 𝘀cie does in the late game on this Rakan up against the Tristana, so that's what their choice is. And now I think they're probably going to be looking to maybe attack the champion pool of, I would say, 𝘀𝗀𝗃, if I'm BTS. Try and make sure he's not super comfortable. Yep, there's the meal. I imagine something like along the lines of the...
I am so confused. I am so confused by this draft from BTS. What? Are you trying to lose this game? I'm really scared for them. GLX's first 3 picks looks like blind pick to me. It's insane. How do you get away with Tristana, Thresh, and 𝘀cie with no contest whatsoever? They have a losing jungle matchup. They have a losing bot matchup. Those are the 2 most important lanes for BTS. What is going on?
BTS have decided to pivot completely away and go all in on the late game because their outscaling is actually very strong. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 has much more effective engage than 𝘀cie in the late game. They reach the same level of tankiness. They really like the late game team fighting of 𝘁𝗄𝗃 Rakan up against the spot lane matchup. And now that they
get
know,
an Azir for glory.
I think you fit round out with an Azir or Zoe and a probably an Aatrox for Ryuk. I think that's probably the way you want to go if you're finishing this top buffer.
Sounds good to me. Kind of short range though, so apart from Azir, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, On! We haven't seen On in ages. That's
He's been hitting the forge.
So there's nothing that can... I mean, I really like the Renekton pick. I actually want to talk a little bit about the Renekton pick, because I think in this composition, the Renekton pick is super good for 𝘀𝗀𝗃 to just have a weak side, or not even weak side, just a super strong laner in the Renekton, so he can create pressure on his own, and you can focus completely on bot lane. So it's weak side Renekton, but it's a very good spot to pick Renekton, because the enemy team actually opted into banning the 𝗁. So the enemy team kind of played themselves here, leaving open the Renekton and having banning away the 𝗁. So either you go to a hard counter pick, something like the Quinn, or you just opt into a losing lane, which BTS then agreed on with the On pick here. So BTS is full on late game. Yeah, the Azir prediction, very nice. So back to what worked for them before.
And it really worked. Glory's Azir yesterday was extremely good. Pretty much solo carried a couple of games against SBTC. It was pretty fantastic. Let's see if he can do it again, if 𝘁𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 will rise, or if Blazers will be able to put that one to rest. I think GLX has run away with a very good draft here, though.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. Go ahead.
The only thing that comes down to it for me is GLX have all the early game advantages against BTS composition, but then you turn nameplates back on and you wonder, can they actually do anything with it? Then you get to the late game team fighting, and then it's like these comps kind of match out even at that point. And I would, in fact, slightly favor BTS. And then when you have players on top of that, BTS should, in theory, have the comp advantage because of tendencies rather than actual draft itself. So
yep, I think I definitely agree with all these points. I think with the nameplates off, I'd say GLX's draft is way better. I think they've outdrafted them pretty handily, but with nameplates on, I don't think GLX is a good team. So I actually think BTS is a much better team than GLX, especially in the early game, and their late game should be better too. So this game should actually be quite easy for BTS, in my opinion. Which is kind of weird to say, because I really like GLX's draft, but yeah, I don't believe in GLX.
But you do believe in the VCS curse of better draft losers.
Yeah, you get a good draft, you can't. Of course, it's a VCS. We know you punched that witch. We know what you did, Yulwei. You cursed us all. But you are going to predict BTS as we do head onto the Rift?
Yep, I think it's BTS. I think we go to 3, and BTS stay alive in this league.
Fair enough. We'll have to check in afterwards to see if that comes true. As everyone takes to the field. I like the Foggy Rift.
I don't like the Foggy Rift because it's not. It's like so low quality fog. It makes me think I'm playing Silent Hill on PS2 sort of thing.
Oh, that's good memories for me. So,
but like the game was great, but the
graphics were rough.
Graphics.
True. But anyway, 𝘀𝗀 obviously still in. No 𝘁𝗀 coming in from the sunset. Makes sense after a win. Why change anything?
I can think of
one Udyr as well.
But you do have Udyr that should at least cover for 𝘀𝗀's tendencies of not doing a lot. He can at least just fall back into farming, and that's still the right decision. So we're going to have to see where BTS tries to play. 𝘀𝗀 should have a good opportunity to make things happen if he so decides, because the two side lanes will be pushing in against him. So the wraparound is strong. He's only really going to have pressure through the mid lane, though, so any attempts at counter jungling are going to be very difficult. So if he wants to do something, it's going to have to be trying to gank these pushing lanes. The Tristana and the Thresh in particular. Probably a bit harder to do, because once 6 comes in, there's a Buster Shot, and before then there's a Flay. But BitCaro and 𝘁𝗀 may just take it to them.
Yeah, they're dealing a lot of damage here, securing a lot of early priority as they take away half the health bar of both enemy laners. They did spend the ignite, but it's okay.
He's getting very excited. Rakana's doing things. But
he's watching himself on the Rift. Must be weird.
Yeah, so the early level 2, very good pressure out of the big BTS bot lane. Of course, at this stage, Shine's range isn't all that high, so they are sort of even in terms of the matchup then, but as levels go into this, it's only going to get harder and harder as the lane progresses. Ryuk taking a belting from 𝘁𝗀 though. Luckily,
yeah,
didn't try to cheeky an extra refillable, so not going to be completely defeated there. Not going to be taken down.
That is fairly lucky, but he actually is recovering just fine, regenning under the tower. Does get most of those minions as well. So 𝘁𝗀 off to a good start, but Ryuk was always going to lose this lane. 𝘀𝗀 hovering around. We will have a little bit of conflict as 𝘁𝗀 trying to turn it in. They're going to try and collapse onto the Udyr. It makes a lot of sense. They force his flash. They get a scuttle, and this is setting up the instant double scuttle.
Yeah, 𝘀𝗀
run straight over mid lane.
𝘀𝗀, if he knows what's good for him, he'll do that, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's pushed in as well. This should be a double scuttle.
Yeah, Rakan also peeking his head in just to make sure they can't interrupt the back and make Udyr's life a little bit more miserable. But good trading out in the mid lane from 𝘁𝗀, coming up very even overall in the CS department, but coming out ahead in this trade, may be able to even cheat his recall a little bit. Probably not with the way the lanes are arriving, though. Might have to expend that teleport.
That is a good start, though, for 𝘀𝗀, picking up both crustaceans. 𝘀𝗀 just misplaying down on the bot side, underestimating how fast the collapse could come in and how slow he is at this stage of the game. Not what you want to see, and it sets GLX a little bit behind to see if they will be able to bounce back in the jungle position, because we know how snowbally it can be.
Yes, any lead in the jungle can amount to quite a lot. 𝘀𝗀, of course, already level 5 because of this extra experience compared to 𝘀𝗀's 4. As this goes on, he's going to get to that level 6 faster. He's going to be able to reach that stage where he can just make ganks that are even harder to deal with, especially down bot, as GLX and Yin, Shine and Yin are still only level 3. He is so far ahead of them in experience at this point. He should be able to make something happen down there if he can just power farm up to that level 6.
They do know exactly where he is, though. There were pings right on his head, so good job there by 𝘁, keeping track on his opposite number. 𝘀𝗀𝗺 yet to base as well. He's so far ahead. He's just been powering around the rift. Currently several camps ahead. Has the experience is equalized in terms of level, but I imagine 𝘁𝗀𝗰𝗴 is actually quite close to level 6, and it looks like they want to make a play on the bot side.
It's quite hard.
Spotted. He's just going to back off. I think he should just back off, go by.
Yeah, Yen's probably going to just try and interrupt the back if he can, but nope.
No risk.
Push too far back. 𝘁𝗁 level 6, but Ornn hits it just in time.
Yeah. Oh, but 𝘁𝗁 wants it. Flash for a flash, but now the Ornn ult will come in. The brittle proc will apply. This is a solo kill. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 writes him down in his book, and it is going to be 𝘁𝗁 sent off to the Shadow Realm.
That's huge.
That's what 𝘁𝗃's from, right, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, sends them to the Shadowlands.
Exactly.
He says, "Let it rip." But
oh my.
That's a huge win for 𝘁𝗃. He gets the ultimate just in time as 𝘁𝗁 tries to all in him. And now 𝘀𝗀𝗺 is playing a little bit sneaky horse. He wanted to look for something onto Blazers, but gets sort of spotted out.
Let's have a look at the replay.
Yeah, here we just see hit 6 as 𝘁𝗁 decides to all in, and then he decides I can still do that. I can do that.
He didn't have his W when he flashed.
Yeah,
if he flashed W's, he gets the kill, but I'm not sure why he went for a flash E.
Yeah, I think the idea is if he can flash and then E around, he can just try and try and move his model too much for 𝘁𝗃 to respond, but 𝘁𝗃 just flashes away and presses his long range kill. Or he was predicting the sort of flash follow, so wanted to E through and extend the E off him as he flashes.
Yeah,
it doesn't work at all. But
part of it, I feel, is just underestimating Ornn's damage. Always very deceptive early on how much Ornn does when he gets those brittle procs.
Yeah, and it has been a while since we've seen Ornn, so 𝘁𝗁 may be thinking, tank don't do damage. No, it's season 11. Tank do damage.
Exactly. This is actually causing a little bit of a snowball effect with the loss of pressure on the top side and a little bit of. Sorry, I've completely misread things. Ignore what I'm saying. But
his ult back.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗁 is bearing down, but look who's here. It's 𝘀𝗀𝗺, goes over the wall with the onslaught of shadows. One kill picked up for the Crocodile, but will be traded back. 𝘀𝗀𝗺 gets that kill. I was going to say, 𝘀𝗀𝗺 had actually been falling behind 𝘁 despite the early game lead, but that kill will get him straight back into the run of things.
Yeah, and now it's going to probably be a trade of objectives on either side as the Rift Tower gets started up by 𝘀𝗀𝗺, but 𝘁 instead decides, I'm going to do a little bit of a red buff steal, try and get some extra camps under my belt, make up for those lost scuttles and so they still have the bot pressure. They can still probably pick up that dragon anyway as soon as they hear the shriek of the Herald dying. But we're just going to see, 𝘁𝗁 gets his ult back early and predicts and just sort of gets behind him, so 𝘁𝗃 has to flee through him. And it's not quite enough, not quite tank enough from 𝘁𝗃, but gets him back under the tower so 𝘀𝗀𝗺 can easily clean him up with the assist of those turret shots.
So not too bad there for BTS getting a kill onto the 𝘀𝗀𝗺. It was an assisted kill, so they do come out mildly ahead. But it's good for 𝘁𝗁 to be bouncing back, especially now that the Bramble Vest is complete along with the Balmy Cinder. 𝘁𝗃 shouldn't die again, but he also shouldn't get any kills, so not the worst situation. 𝘀𝗀𝗆 on this is it. Mid lane, we haven't really been talking about it. Has just been a farm fest. We should be seeing some verdant barriers and the like coming in, but so far they're just killing the minions.
Yeah, so far really just going for these boots just to make sure they can get to lanes faster and repeat recalls more often. But this dragon, once again, has been left relatively untouched. We're going to have to see what these teams want to do to make plays. Very even at 10 minutes. within 100 gold of each other. Really, the CS lead in top lane making up that extra kill. So not a lot's been happening, and this means we have to sort of talk about what BTS wants out of this composition. We know they want to go to late game. We know they don't want to fight too early, but when they do go early, they're looking for the fights. They want that big team fight. Layer on top the quickness with the Onslaught of Shadows and the Call of the Forge God to just keep GLX down and let 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 and 𝘀𝗀 put out so much damage onto the front line, and then eventually the back.
Yeah, oh, hang on. Dragon was started on the other side, but they've claimed their own reptile. 𝘀𝗀ie a little bit upset about TPing in there. Gets absolutely nothing, but a kill on the top side secured. Will be traded for the first Drake. I actually like this for BTS. Like, what does a Drake at 11 minutes do? That's so late. Who cares?
Yeah. It is one of the better Drakes to take as a solo. But if they are choosing, they're choosing to drop the Rift Herald, and as the fight goes on...
Oh, Shine very low. Can they get forward onto him? The 𝘁𝗀𝗃 ultimate is available, but currently no tag. Damage comes in blazes. The teleport is forced. That equalizes 𝘀𝗀ie's kind of miss-teleport to the top side. Well done there by BTS's bot lane.
Yeah, no flashes forced, so everyone in a very equal position. We saw the Buster Shot come out of Shine to try and keep 𝘀𝗀𝗃 pinned, so Blazers could actually get something off of his teleport, but in the end it is just that dragon for a lot of damage done. Okay, so small things. Small, really, really minor nitpicks. Blazers should have let that plate die. Deny...
Okay. So you're right. Yeah,
no one's around.
Yeah, fair point.
That's just gold lost. It's a really minor nitpick.
That is a super minor nitpick. You are right. You are correct. That is... you did find a nit, and you picked it.
Yum, yum.
Don't say that.
Gorilla, monkey.
Oh my word! I'm moving in with you.
You chose this.
I did. Oh, Shine getting chunked very low, but will turn around. Doesn't want a full stacked explosive charge to go off on his head.
Yeah.
𝘁𝗀𝗃 doing well, keeping up in farm. The ADCs are basically dead even at the moment.
Yeah, they've navigated this lane extremely well. We saw in their match up against SBTC with this basically exact same matchup, the SBTC bot lane was able to put a lot of pain onto 𝘁𝗀𝗃 and 𝘀𝗀ie with their range advantage. It's not panning out the same way. They are dead even in gold right now, of give or take one CS. That means nothing. There's a turret plate over to Shine. That's the only advantage he really has in this matchup, which really they should be smacking a lot harder.
They definitely should be, but still, Ryuk in a very good position, able to get a lot of solo XP, exactly what you want. Let him scale up, start handing out some items. Speaking of which, he has got the Frostfire Gauntlet. I really like this. I think it's a very, very strong item. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 has had to throw up the wall, but the collapse now coming in. 𝘁 very quick, but the quickness is even quicker. And there it is. The collapse is good. 𝘀𝗀𝗃 will get the kill. Call of the Forge God. Oh, maybe you should have let that one go to voicemail. As Ryuk does not reposition it well. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 teleports in, but it's still the one kill for BTS.
Yeah, good collapse. The horse came in extremely fast to punish the collapse. And now we saw a rotation from Shine, which means that 𝘁𝗀𝗃 gets a little bit more time alone to just shove this wave out. He's actually going to collect in time, so not too big of a loss. But overall, good response from BTS, being able to collapse and punish GLX's attempts at a play.
Yeah, it has given them now this 2k gold lead. We did say they want to play this one late. They want to play this one slow. So the fact that they're ahead is just exactly what the doctor ordered. And now Ryuk, the flash, is another good prescription. Down on the bottom side, 𝘁𝗀𝗃 is going to try and go for the outplay. 𝘀𝗃𝗃 arrives. It should be the 1-for-1. That hop does not get nearly far enough. And Yin was retreating towards the blue side base and then realized with great horror that he was playing for the red team. As he goes down. Double kill for 𝘀𝗃𝗃. The pony is set up for a ride.
Yeah, GLX, they're going to take advantage of this teleport and appearance on the jungler to pick up this objective. Can easily convert that into a top tower as well as 𝘁𝗀 starts the old dirty farm up. So, however, the dragon is still quite a while away, so BTS aren't going to necessarily be able to respond with that in kind. But so it's gold later for gold now, and here we see 𝘁𝗀𝗃 sort of just gets a little bit cheeky, but he's all alone. 𝘀𝗃 was not close enough yet.
Yeah, it's a good exhaust out of Yin as well. There is potentially a kill before the reinforcements arrive if that isn't there. So Yin doing a good job. But in the end, it's two kills over to the horse. 𝘀𝗃 has been the lifeblood of BTS. If he plays well, they win. If he plays badly, they lose. And he's now 3-0, so that heart is pumping nice and fast.
And he's in position as this dragon spawns. 𝘁𝗀 still is nearby, but 𝘀𝗀ie has his way there. Unfortunately for them, well, actually, 𝘁𝗀 doesn't have his TP, so it will be a 4v4 regardless, but the AD carry of Shine should be providing a little bit more than the tank that 𝘁𝗃 is.
Yep, but the dragon is just cleaned up. 𝘁𝗀 pops the quickness, gets the charm, and they blow up Yin in the bin to him.
Take it all back.
They pick up another one. Orianna going down. Now they're trying to evacuate, but it's a big old horse. The blast cone. Oh, but 𝘁𝗀 doesn't care about your plants. He is not a botanist. And on the other side, it's the horse 𝘀𝗃 going under the tower. Look how deep this man is. He's running down. Can he get over the last few jumps? Oh, this is an 𝘀cie𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀 event. Oh, my word. Wouldn't even take podium. Doesn't quite get the kills. Yucky end of the play. But still a very good play overall for BTS.
I take it all back. 𝘁𝗃 really coming up huge in that fight there. They're gonna net the dragon off of a bit of a close smite from 𝘀𝗃. They're not actually going to get any further objectives in terms of turrets, but they win the fight regardless, and that has catapulted them into that 4k gold lead. Let's see, 𝘁𝗃 starts off with a massive ultimate, and it just goes on from there. The base damages on him and 𝘀𝗃 are more than enough, and of course there's 𝘀𝗀ie just pumping out damage in the back line. They aren't quite able to finish off this little rose.
Yeah,
little
cut the tape. Cut the tape.
Cut the tape. No,
we're gonna keep going. Yeah, I mean, in the end, they don't actually lose anything out of this. It's a bit of misexecution from 𝘀𝗃. Not a bad play by Shine as well, and 𝘁𝗀. Oh man, didn't throw the feather in the right direction. We heard how angry Rakan was. Direct statement from the champion. But in the end, no one died on the escape, so no harm, no foul. Oh, here he is! The horse has arrived! Calls in 𝘁𝗀, and where'd Shine go? Anyone? Did anyone see? Yin, once again, very, very concerned. Doesn't know what team he is on. Yin, as someone else who suffers from color blindness, you are on the red team. Red. Stop repeating the blue towers. And 𝘁𝗀 once again on the Ornn hits a knockup with the ultimate, but has to run away from 𝘁𝗀, have that dominus going, so they can't follow up on any fights.
To be fair to him, it's not his fault. Oh no,
𝘀𝗃. Ooh, overreaching. I'm not sure how he gets caught there, but there is a bounce house being set up. 𝘀𝗀ie needs to deal all of the damage. Blaze is on the other side. In the end, 3 from each team walk away.
Yeah. 𝘀𝗃 just sort of hunting for a little bit of a crab dinner and finds a crocodile instead. That's not what you want. That's a big shutdown going over to 𝘁𝗀 though, so he's going to be very happy with that. Brings him back ahead of 𝘁𝗃 in terms of gold. But we're seeing these gold advantages, especially in the mid and jungle. That's still just so much. 𝘁𝗀 has not been able to get things done on the 𝘁𝗀, whereas 𝘀𝗃, he's been able to get everything done. He's been involved in 9 out of 10 kills, and he is just having a good time.
Yeah, he doesn't want to stop at all. As the 𝘁𝗀 continuing to power up. 𝘁𝗃 down on the bottom side. He's level 13, so we'll be able to transform his own mythic, but we need to see him still in these side lanes as much as possible, catching solo XP to begin empowering his team. Yeah, here's your first test. What's his item called?
Frozen Fist.
I don't think that's correct.
No, it's not. I barely even remember it's called Frostfire Gauntlet. It's still Frozen Fist to me.
I've actually forgotten what the Gauntlet upgrade is. I know the rest of them, but I forgot that one.
Spicy Cold.
Spicy Cold. Okay.
Spicy Cold Hand.
Yeah, he actually just lathers Tiger Balm on his hand.
Just slaps you across the face with it. Oh, lovely.
Oh, you gotta love it. But anyway, let's get back on track. It is a bit of a lull state. It's just waves being pushed, but 𝘀𝗀 has found his way towards a tower. 𝘁𝗺proc doing a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, we'll
try and take this one away.
Go down.
Easy peasy. 𝘁𝗀 cannot get there in time to clear that wave out, so the bot lane tower secured. That is another bit of gold. It's actually the first tower GLX has picked up. I thought they got the mid lane, but I was mistaken. And 𝘁𝗀 did not think that 𝘀𝗀 stuck around, but turns out it doesn't matter because he is tanky.
No one does any damage in that lane. It's not worth talking about for quite a while. Yeah, so there's gonna be a bit. The thing with GLX, they've set up these outer lane turrets really well. The top lane is on like 2 hits from death. The mid lane also in a similar position, but they just haven't been able to get those last bits of damage down. They may be able to now that the positioning from BTS has taken them to the dragon, trying to set themselves up for that Ocean Soul, amplify their late game even more. And this is a good setup for BTS. We said they wanted to go late, and now they are in a fantastic position to get there.
Yeah, very true. They pick up, yes, they said they pick up that next stack of the Drake. Looking very good. 𝘁𝗀, once again, having to play carefully around 𝘀𝗀. Doesn't want to take a fight in the long lane. Ooh, up on the top side, 𝘁𝗀 managing to fend off 𝘁𝗀. But we see how that 1v1 goes now.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗀 playing it extremely well, just getting on top of 𝘁𝗀 and forcing him to use the Buster Shot to get away. It's not the best. I would have liked to force a flash or something similar, but as it is, that's still a pressure victory coming out from 𝘁𝗀. As this spot lane, we are spending a lot of time down here because, oh, look at all this action. It's just smacking minions.
He broke his stride. Oh my word, it's a 20% slow and the crowd goes wild. Ah, it's wave clear. I mean, to be fair, not much else is happening. It has gone very quiet here. It is just this 3k gold lead for BTS. At 23 minutes, not a disastrous amount of gold. This game actually feels like it's gone a lot longer than 23 minutes. Not gonna lie, but here we are.
Yeah, so as we can see, Damwon are moving their way up. Oh wait, it's not 𝘀𝗀cie.
𝘀𝗀cie has been pretty kill heavy this split.
Look, I haven't actually been able to watch 𝘀𝗀cie. It's just
it's on
a
a bad
time.
It's on a bad time for us.
I have other leagues I'd rather watch, and
anyway, let's not dwell on other regions. We're in the VCS. We're in the best one. As the Baron has been started up. They were spotted by the blue ward, though, so that GLX is fully aware that this is happening. Both top laners have TP. It's coming down pretty fast. There's the TPs. 𝘁𝗀 is coming in deep. This forces the play. There it is. And it's fallen away! There it is. 𝘁𝗀 brings down the smite. He picks up the first kill as well. 𝘀𝗀 evacuating from the fight. 𝘁𝗀 trying to play spoiler for the retreat. 𝘁𝗀 on the run. He gets to the lantern and they're out of here. This is a disaster for BTS. They lose the Baron. They lose a kill. And they might have lost the game.
They absolutely flubbed. They didn't do anything to keep 𝘁𝗀 out of the pit. 𝘁𝗀 teleport was way too late. They didn't stop the burst to try and keep 𝘁𝗀 down, and he just gets it. He gets it. Now they have to play up against the Baron, and luckily for them, they have the wave clear of his ear. But it's still just does not look. 𝘁𝗀 comes over way too late, and 𝘁𝗀's just like, oh, you missed. Goodbye. I'm going in. And then Yin just plays like an absolute hero here. Does so much. 𝘁𝗀 is, of course, super tanky, so he manages to keep away. And Gloria is out of the fight for 5 years, but here we see Yin hook onto 𝘀𝗀, onto 𝘁𝗀, stops him from getting the end onto 𝘀𝗀, gets a good lantern to bring the others out as well. Just great play from GLX on that disengage. And BTS, their Baron setups, they didn't set it up properly. They didn't keep 𝘀 focused.
Very true. They did not track his position well enough, and now it is going to be a Baron buff for GLX. They bring the gold back to dead even. The game by no means over, but now GLX looking much, much better than they have any right to look. Makeup does wonders.
Yeah, they weren't able to put spikes on their benches, and the homeless man just walks in and takes a nap.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So here we go. And BTS.
𝘀𝗫𝗋ℎ's popped. BTS want to go back in. 𝘁 found, but 𝘁𝗀𝗀 could not deal lethal damage. Yin gets a hook onto the horse. The shockwave used as well. Onslaught of Shadows. It's just a consolation prize. This is an insane engage from BTS. They are throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks. And at the moment, it is looking like Teflon.
Watch out for
𝘀𝗀 on the flank. I don't think he actually wants to do this. GLX happy with what's already happened. No need to extend the play.
They try to chase the kill. They are engaging onto one of the hardest members to kill, 𝘁. They're overcommitting, leading with 𝘁𝗀𝗀. That is not what you need to be doing. That 𝘁 just busts him away, and 𝘀𝗀𝗀, he just walks in like, no, I can finish it. I can get the kill. But then, Yin, great hook. The onslaught of Shadows way too late. You need that to either dodge the hook, or you don't do it at all, or you use it to run away. But this stops the snowball, so now it's 2 Drakes apiece. Dragon is basically not going to be a factor in this game.
Pretty much no, as this is GLX now in full control. We've seen some heroics out of Yin, stopping that 𝘀𝗀𝗀 re-engage there that could have snowballed things. He was shut down. More and more upgrades have come in. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 now has that 𝗀𝗿𝗀 sacrifice. Leandri's Anguish as well for 𝘀𝗀𝗀.
And this being, because of these items, we can look at the scoreboard and say, oh, BTS is actually ahead in gold. Because the 3 items, that should be more than 1,000 gold worth of value. So with all that going through, we're just going to kill 𝘀𝗀𝗀 again.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗀𝗀 comes down. Ryuk doesn't have the damage to kill 𝘀𝗀𝗀 anymore, but 𝘁𝗀𝗀 does. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 nearly turns it around, but can't quite do it. Manages to take down 𝘁𝗀𝗀, and that is a good pickup there for the boys from BTS.
Yeah, very, very scary there for 𝘁𝗀𝗀. Just 𝘀𝗀𝗀 realizing, well, I can't kill this cow for a while, but I can kill this slight petite woman.
Uh-oh.
And
Secret Agent 𝘀𝗀𝗀. He comes in, gets the ultimate, but there's no follow-up here. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 is the only damage. He takes one down, picks his target wonderfully as well. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 wants to keep this going. I'm not sure his team wants to, though. He gets chunked right down. There's a hook onto Ryuk. The rest of GLX should just be able to walk away.
Yeah, the follow-up push was, I believe, less to sort of find another kill and more to let 𝘁𝗀𝗀 do his thing on the bot lane. He picks up 2 towers while that's going on. That's a huge victory. That swings the gold right back into the favor of BTS. And now they've got mid lane positioning. They might be able to break down the start. Nope, never mind. Sorna's just gunning it down for 𝘁𝗀𝗀.
It's all right. He's just giving him a bit of a warning. Not going to go in and give him the boink.
He's giving him the old 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀.
Just scaring him. As 𝘀𝗀𝗀 returns to the bottom lane, where he has spent most of this game just hitting waves alongside Ryuk. He is very far ahead in farm, but scaling is a factor, and Renekton is not super happy at playing this part of the game. This is a close one. It's hard to call. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 4-0. That demonic embrace, as you pointed out earlier, has been completed. Is hard to dislodge in team fights. Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure on that man's shoulders.
Yeah, and 𝘁 might be in a little bit of trouble. No, 𝘀𝗀𝗀 doesn't register him being there. Genken goes for an attempt at glory, but a good dash away. And here we're just seeing the problem for BTS is that mid lane pressure. They haven't been able to break open that tower, so GLX always has that ability to roam through that lane much quicker and respond to things on the side lanes, despite the pressure that has been put down by BTS. So now we're just looking for more fights, seeing if we can get something to happen.
Catches onto 𝘀. Not really the target they want to catch, though. Take a long time to cut him down. But that's a good knock up onto Yin. He has to go gold. Big Koro using that Q early. And 𝘀𝗏𝗺 with some heroics getting blazes into the middle of the game. 𝘀𝗀ie scoops up a crocodile and picks up a second kill. And now BTS, you crack open that mid lane. Right as 𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗶 points out the issue, they take both of the towers, and it's heroics from 𝘀𝗏𝗺 and 𝘀𝗀ie to get them two towers and get them back into full control. And they're going to keep on going. They're going to get an inhib.
Yeah, they just are not going to stop here. They were going to have to pull off after this, though, it feels like, because Shine is still up. There's only
they disagree. They're very tanky. 𝘀𝗏𝗺 goes into the backside, goes gold to dodge that satchel charge. 𝘁𝑒O with a knock-up onto Shine, forces him to hop away. The damage is still coming in, though. The tower's going down. And this should just be the win for BTS. This requires some absolute heroic plays from Shine. It's just not going to happen. BTS are going to take down the Nexus. Out of nowhere, the game ends. BTS, it was not pretty, but it's a win.
It wasn't pretty, but when they got to their late-game items, they got to where they wanted to fight. And when they fought, they did so wonderfully. And they took so much off that last play. And, well, I mean, they took the game.
Yep. They win the game. That's what matters. Fantastic performance from BTS. I thought maybe they had lost it around the Baron, but they managed to right their nerves and take it to game number 3. 𝘁𝗶𝗶𝗶, you didn't think you were getting away with 2-game series. It's never going to happen.
No.
But don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the conclusion of BTS versus GLX. Oh, sorry. I misheard you. I'm sorry, production. I misheard you.
higher than a mountain, and we be up here for the long run, strap in for a long one. We got everybody on one. Now you coming at the king, so you better not miss. And we only get stronger with everything I carry up on my back. You should paint it up with a target. Why would you dare me to do it again? Come get your spoiler, but we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you loving my name. You ought to know by now. We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up. Take a lap now, don't be mad now. Run it back, run it back. I got bodies lining up, think you're dreaming of greatness. Send you back home, let you wake up. Why would you dare me to do it again? Come and get your spoiler up ahead. We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you loving my name. You ought to know by now. We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up.
在以后，除了是傻子，还有其他吗？我左右，键盘琵琶在时间滴答着，还不够。你的固执让我来守候，哪怕太迟也不想以后。就在这时放肆的打斗。I got the heart of a lion, I know the harder you climb, the harder you fall. I'm at the top of the mountain, too many bodies to count. I've been through it all. I had to weather the storm to get to the level I'm on. That's how the legend was born. All of my enemies already dead. I'm born, I'm ready for war. They know I'm ready for war. I told them
We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you loving my name. You ought to know by now. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up.
KDA, should we show them how we do it every day? Let's get it. Kali that girl, Kali go girl, Kali gon' stop, Kali gon' skirt, Kali got a job, Kali got a word. 뜨거워 언제나 don't get burned. 넘쳐 흘러물 든 a rough it, 죽여주잖아 like a rough it. 누가 감히 on my outfit, 그 문 열지 마 that's a rough it. 안 give any more cause I'm greater than. 필요 없는 시험들 다 뿐이미. But all of my numbers are talking back. 부루마법 메시지 monopoly. 눈종이 돈이 나를 money 필요 없대. 너네들이 만든 돈들 go get it, go get it, go get it. 더 미션 눈을 못대 못해 그래 너도 get it cause I got it different. All I ever know is lay upon the throne. 시작하면 끝을 보는 거야. You want more? No, I got it so here you go. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough and it up and away.
Welcome back, everybody. Game 3. You didn't think BTS would get out of here without 3 games, did ya?
Foolish.
Fools. BTS always goes to 3, but it is 1-1 against GLX. Welcome back to the VCS English Analyst Desk. Yulwei, what was your take on game number 2?
I mean, not much to say. It happened exactly as predicted before the game or after the draft. BTS is a better team. They will win in late game team fights, and even though GLX's comp is nice, they can't do anything with it in the early game. I mean, they picked Renekton as their strong lane to guarantee that he at least doesn't lose. And yeah, he got first blooded. So there isn't really much to say, I have to admit, after this game. Because yeah, it wasn't the greatest game, not from BTS either, nice steal from Zorn. But I feel like BTS is just a much better team after watching these 2 games. There's no reason for them to be 1-1 here. I think they showcased in both games that they are way better. And if they lose the next game, I think I'm going to be tilted for them to I don't know where.
Yeah, they should definitely. They are heavy favourites heading into game 3, I think. 𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗹𝘀, what do you think BTS needs to do to close this one out?
Do the same thing. Just draft for the late game. Draft your comforts. Maybe look for a bit more of a. Maybe look for something slightly better in the slightly better early game coming out of the bot lane. But considering they should have lost that lane quite handily, but then kept it completely even, it really doesn't matter. This feels like. As long as they don't completely draft themselves into a corner where they have to really rely on macro and all that sort of thing without a very strong engage core.
Yeah. And,
we haven't seen 𝘁𝗰𝗋 today. Maybe it's time to bring 𝘁𝗰𝗋 in, and maybe you can smurf a game. It's just 1 game. GLX just has to win 1 more game to basically secure better positioning than BTS for the rest of the season, because they would be 1 series up and they would be 2-0 in the head-to-head. So I feel like it's just 1 series, one little thing you have to go for. Maybe a cheese, maybe something like that.
Maybe we'll have to find out what they can do. I feel like just trying to play like something really early game, end the game at 22 minutes is probably GLX's best bet. I think the issue they're running into is there's a lot of bans you kind of need against BTS at the moment. They're really fanging for solo queue ban system where you get 5 just straight up. Because you don't want Glory on Azir. You don't want Drakthar on 𝘁𝗁𝗋, but you also need to ban the OPs.
And the difficult thing for GLX is, if we go off game 1, they're banning the OPs on blue side.
Yeah.
So
we are heading into champ select, so we will find out.
They're learning. They are learning. We have the first pick. Now BTS has to actually respond in kind and ban some OPs.
So, where are we going here? Is 𝘁𝗁𝗋 in? Is he not in? Oh, 𝘁𝗁𝗋 banned. We could maybe see a different jungle matchup for once. It would be exciting. But yeah, Tristana is banned away now as well, so ADC pool could be something new. We haven't seen the Jinx was banned in game 1, if I remember correctly. Could be picked here. Senna is still a champion, apparently not in this league, but yeah, first picked everywhere else. So especially on this patch, maybe one of the 2 teams has actually practiced something like the Senna. This is the perfect game to pull it out. This is maybe the most important single game GLX and BTS will play the whole split. You can see 2-6 to 2-6. Whoever wins this game has a very high chance, especially if it's GLX, to avoid relegations.
So BTS, yeah, okay, they are banning the Seraphine, and now their jungle matchup should be something along the lines of 𝘁𝗀𝗋 versus 𝘁𝗀𝗋. I think that's gonna be the first pick coming out for GLX. But if I'm them, oh, we do have 𝘁𝗁𝗋 in, by the way. So 𝘁𝗀𝗋 for 𝘁𝗁𝗋. That's just how we're going to go for it. Makes a lot of sense. He hasn't shown the Olaf yet, so if it was Sawn in, maybe we would have seen the Olaf priority, but... Interesting.
Olaf is a comfort gem for Drakthar too, so he's probably going to go for that Olaf, of course. A few other champions still viable, but yeah, there we go. Lilia Olaf, very much as to be expected. I feel like Lilia is very strong in this matchup on 11-4, because Olaf got nerfed, and Lilia was fine into Olaf before as well. So Killer Queen should have a little bit of the initiative, not on the first clear, but moving into level 6 territory, level 7. A little bit later into the game, Lilia can really deal quite well with the Olaf.
Yeah, we're seeing a small... We're seeing the comfort come in for Big Car here as the Tristanos ban, so that's not going to be on the table to be fought over. The Thresh again for Yin, and the Renekton as well. So now we're going to have to see what they want to go for. They could just lock in another tank here for Ryuk, or they could go for something... They could go for maybe the Rakan again, or they just
wow,
lock that away.
So I think you attack ADCs here as BTS, right? You just go double ADC. Oh, never mind me.
Or you ban
I mean, it's a
specific
Blaze special. Yeah, I don't mind this too much. I thought it would be better to just pinch ADC pool, but honestly, Blaze is popping off in a one-off game on one of his favorites would be detrimental to your season. So getting rid of as many volatile champions as possible, making the draft as easy to understand and as easy to execute as possible is probably a good thing for BTS, because I firmly believe they are a better team on the day. So yeah, try to get rid of every cheese, of every potential thing that can offset you, can get you out of your comfort zone. So yeah, I don't mind this too much. No ADC attack, so all the ADCs open for GLX. They could go, I guess, Aphelios here. They could go Jinx. They could go Xayah.
It's gonna be Xayah.
Sivir and Senna.
Ezreal, you know, play real. Say, oh, okie dokie. That's
good matchup into Renekton.
Yeah,
This would be. This. Yeah, it's a Jinx. It's going to be a Jinx, which is very strong into this front back team fight composition.
Okay, come on.
A little bit more peel. I would like to see a little bit more peel. No, not the Yone. That's the opposition of peel.
They always hover the Yone.
I really wouldn't mind the Galio here. You do lose the lane against Glory, but you have a much better setup. The Echo though would be very aggressive. GLX looking to go all in for the early game with the Jinx as the late game sort of insurance. This would be
Pike. I don't think Pike is going to come in. I think it's a very good pick into the GLX composition, but this is a spicy draft so far, particularly the second phase.
I'm not about the Echo. Wow, okay. Elio is a very good Bart player. He's Lisa. Yeah. He was the Bart main coming in, so that's very exciting. And yeah, I think this Bart last pick, it's interesting. I'm not sure if I think it's the best choice, but yeah, 3 supports banned from the side of GLX, so maybe he was pushed on the stamping pool already, 4th pick, so back to his comfort. I don't think Bard Kai'Sa really wins lane into Jinx Thresh, but Bard can definitely be annoying for the Jinx, especially if he comes from weird angles. He can open up better ways for Olaf to get into the backline, so certainly don't mind the Bard here compositionally. I'm just a little bit scared once again for the bot lane 2v2 matchup.
We'll have to see how it goes. He is a good Bard, but Bard is not being played at the moment, while he was extremely strong in the time period that we're sort of referring to. You said you didn't like the Echo. Why?
Yes. So, looking at this composition, I would just like to see more peel for Shine. You have a lot of damage in top lane, you have decent damage in jungle, you have a hyper carry, the strongest hyper carry I'd argue, right now on the patch in Jinx in the bot lane. So why do you need another very selfish, very side lane focused champion in mid lane? I think you just go team fighting here as Blazes. You go protect the Shine and try to hyper carry with the Shine. I just don't see the purpose of Echo. Usually picked to dominate side lanes, but then again, do you really hard win side lane right now into the state Azir's in? I think Azir can probably always wave clear. You have another losing side lane on the other side, so I just don't like the Echo compositionally, not individually as a champion, but just it doesn't fit the composition in my opinion.
I think that's fair enough. It does give them a side lane threat though as we get there. It might actually be hard to answer. BTS not very strong in that department. But, sorry, go ahead, Bob.
The main thing is that there should always be a side laner that can match it. If they choose to 4-1 up against the I think you can always send the 𝘁𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 up against the Echo.
I think Azir can just clear. I honestly think Azir has no problems just clearing. So that's one of the big problems why Azir is so broken on this patch, is he can just side lane fine. Like all his prior problems in side lanes are not there right now. He can just side lane. He doesn't care. So yeah, and he even went teleport, so you can just match him on the side lane, teleport in team fights. He's fine.
Fair enough. Well, Yulwei, is it a good enough composition to get BTS a series?
Yeah, I think BTS is just a much better team. So yeah, I think it's enough. I think this Olaf together with Ryuk and Elio's help will get on top of Shine and kill him very quickly.
Well, we'll have to find out. We'll be talking to you after this game regardless. So, the final game, as has been pointed out, this has a lot of implications for the rest of the split. If BTS were to lose, it's very, very difficult for them to actually get out of the relegation zone. But a win makes it much, much, much easier. 𝘀𝗀 starting bottom side. No leash for either. Oh, no, actually, I tell a lie. 𝘁𝗰𝗶𝗃 is getting a leash.
𝘀𝗀 does not really want a leash. The more damage you take on your first buff, the faster you clear your jungle. It's the wonderful ways of Olaf, and it means that Elio and Big can actually set up this pressure that they really, really want, because Elio, he's a little bit squishy, this lad, so just wants to do as best as he can to poke away at 𝘀𝗶𝗏 and Shine. Oh, that's actually another thing. 𝘀𝗏𝗏's in. They decided Yin wasn't up to it. Which is interesting, because I felt like Yin was doing a very good job. His laning phase wasn't the best, but he absolutely came into it extremely strong in these later game fights. And 𝘁𝗁𝗁 going for a very interesting path. I don't know if he was spotted on that ward near the Raptors. It looks like it, because Ryuk's on his way.
Yeah, they are collapsing in. This is not where 𝘁𝗁𝗁 wants to be, but the bear can't really stop Lilia. Stole most of that Krug camp. Yeah, stole most of the Krug camp and gets away with it. 𝘁𝗁𝗁 off to a good start. He's been meditating on the bench.
And that's what we want to see from 𝘁𝗁𝗁. We want to see him making aggressive moves early. Now Ryuk's kind of in an awkward position, and more so 𝘀𝗀's in an awkward position, because he has to try and make something to get back at it. So he's going for 𝘁𝗁𝗁.
Nope, 𝘁𝗁𝗁 has the double dash, gets away. 𝘀𝗀 does have a health advantage in the jungle. A lot of pings coming in. I actually think he could have gone and tried to contest the blue buff. He will just contest the crab instead. And with 𝘁𝗁𝗁 going to this Gromp and still having their wolves up, this could be a double scuttle.
Yeah, I think that is probably the way 𝘀𝗀 finds his way back into the game. Gets that scuttle.
Oh, and good timing with Blazes being back. This is a double scuttle, easy.
Yeah, just double scuttle for Raptors. You actually end up on top of things. You're going to be even in farm. If you really wanted to be aggressive and poke your head in towards those Krugs on the bot side, you could, and that would give you a massive lead. But Lilia looking to go towards the top side, maybe try and punish Ryuk. But as it is, very even across
pings on Ryuk. It looks like they want the dive. Use that Renekton power early. Observers, can we please have a look as 𝘁𝗁𝗁 will go down on the trade? How did the gank happen? Who knows? It is a mystery. We had to watch minions die.
Well,
but
I'm
first
gonna
blood secured regardless.
I'm gonna assume it has something to do with a Flash and a Ruthless Predator, because those are both down. And luckily, Ryuk, very tanky, got a lot of CC in his kit. Here we are, we're gonna see it right now. Yeah, it looks like 𝘁𝗀𝗀 and 𝘁𝗀𝗰𝗀𝗀 walking up. Not even the Flash to begin with, just a lot of CC, but the stun, bit of a delay there. They didn't seem entirely sure who they wanted to hand that kill off to, so there was a little bit extra time for Ryuk to actually get the stun and get 𝘁𝗀𝗀 killed.
Yeah, so this actually, it's not bad for GLX in general. They do come out gold positive, but it's bad for 𝘁𝗀𝗀 individually, as 𝘁𝗀ie has to fend off the Blazers dive, does well. Round 2. Hey, look! It's the opposite of the normal play against GLX. You'd camp for 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀. Camp for him! And they pick up a second kill. This time 𝘁𝗀𝗀 gets it, completely invalidating the point I was going to make as he catches up in gold. It is traded for the dragon, though. So, not the worst.
So, kill for 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀, kill for dragon. That's maybe the way GLX actually gets into it. This is a much, much better early game for coming out of them this time. Killer Queen making things happen. That's what we want to see. And this is going to give GLX their best chance because they don't exactly have the greatest late game team fighting. They have a lot of tools, but it's much harder to work around an Echo than it is in a Xia. And they just need, and if this Renekton and Lilia can get snowballing, then they have the ability to just run over the BTS composition that is not the longest in range, so has to deal with this Renekton.
It's true. Let's see if they can keep it going. I'd like to see 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀 staying up there, really punishing this Volibear pick. Volibear is not a bad pick by any means, but it is a little bit off meta and can suffer to the ganks, clearly, as there is a bit of a scrap in the river over the crab, but it does look like GLX get full prio over it, and 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 will secure the crustacean.
And 𝘁𝗀𝗀 making a roam, but we are seeing a lot of damage coming out of Blazers. He doesn't have an ultimate. He used that to get back to lane, and 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 punishes it instantly. It's not actually going to amount to much. I mean, rather a Flash is burnt, but
yeah,
a kill comes out of it. But the main thing, 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 went for a roam, and that's really hurt Shine on this bot lane. He is falling behind in CS. Caro and 𝘁𝗀𝗀 putting the hurt down onto this Jinx.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not Barb that left the lane first. Just chilling with his ADC at the moment. But the wave position is fairly safe for GLX. For now, those rockets are incredibly annoying to deal with, but 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀 able to hit those stuns very nicely. And
yeah, and we're seeing Ryuk left with the unfortunate side of Volibear of just you can't do anything but shove the wave.
Yeah. He has no choice. He must shove. That passive is a blessing and a curse. Strakthar is down here coming in, but look who's arrived! It's 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀! They're going to be regretting this play, but nothing lands from the Lilia, so Olaf will manage to get away. The Lilting Lullaby not able to be used, but they fend off Drakthar's play perfectly.
Yeah, very good positioning from 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 able to make up for it. But Ryuk is just getting hammered in this lane. He is not able to fight 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. It's a pickaxe to a Bramble Vest rather, and Ryuk is just getting the bad end of these trades every single time. That's not how this matchup is meant to go, but he has been ganked twice, and he's suffering for it. He's nowhere near his mythic. He decided to stop off on the way.
I think he had to be fair. I think the Bramble Vest is a fairly good investment. But it does slow him down. Tower plate secured for Blazers, doing well in the mid lane. Keeping even or ahead with 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, which is exactly what he needs to be doing with 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 on the Azir. Would like to see some roams begin to come in from the Echo if he can. Get out of lane, influence the map. As there is quite a bit of movement around the top side, as 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 has now left lane and left Big Koro in the 2v1.
Yes, And that's going to be punished quite heavily. Jinx, of course, doesn't need much time with these turrets to do a lot of damage, and especially with that Demolish proc coming in through from 𝘀𝗶𝗀𝗀. But if 𝘁ine decides to hang around too long, sometimes out.
And the plate goes down, but no one gets the gold, so unfortunate for GLX there. Didn't want to take the risk. I can't say I blame them, but it's another visit to the top side from the Killer Queen. Ryu is not very favored by the royal family at the moment.
Yeah, he's just being punished time and time again. Killer Queen is always in the top side, and Ryuk has been left completely alone. Good lantern slash flash from 𝘁ine to stop the kill from going on, stop the stun from landing, but this bot side focus from 𝘀𝗀 is not working out, and it's just getting BTS further and further behind. They are 2k down.
Death Sentence lands into the flay. The box is used as well. 𝘀𝗀 taking a lot of damage. Super Mega Death Rocket launched, but blocked by 𝘁𝗀. There's a magical journey. Are they going to follow it? They are. Always risky, and it will be the Bard ultimate stopping anything happening, but it's a fair amount of resources used from both sides as Glory and Blazes scrap. It's an ult for an ult.
Yeah, that's mostly what's going to happen. So what Glory really needs... So Glory just trying to force that ultimate out of Blazes, but in the end, that really doesn't feel like a win for Blazes. That his ultimate is on a very low cooldown. At the moment, it is still... His shuffle is on a lower cooldown though, so it doesn't actually matter. It's a very small victory and a very small window to punish. But the dragon gets picked up by Killer Queen after that bot lane play, and we're out into an Infernal Rift. And GLX are in a very good position to capitalize off that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Let's see how they go. As this bot lane gap is getting concerning, to say the least, as Jinx is now about 30 CS behind Big Koro. Not what 𝘁ine needs to be doing here in this matchup.
It is sort of made up though in the top lane. Well, it's made up in the top lane, absolutely, but
gold-wise, sure, but it's a little bit concerning.
It's also
for the match.
It's also kind of leveled out a little bit, so it's probably only about 10 CS worth of gold that Big Koro is actually ahead because of the... Oh, actually, no, never mind. They took 2 tower plates themselves. Never mind, Big Koro is way ahead of 𝘁ine because 𝘁ine only got 1 tower plate, Big Koro got 2. And, yeah, so they really have to look at a way to keep this bot lane snowball going, whereas BTS have to keep Ryuk okay, because he is not having a great time. He is down by a huge amount in this top lane, and he is continuing to get bullied as 𝘁𝗀 is making another visit.
And there's no reason for 𝘁𝗀 to stop visiting this top side. The 𝘁𝗀 is just so ridiculously vulnerable. Here it is, easy peasy lemon squeezy. The 𝘁𝗀 ult is used, but there's the lilting lullaby. Blazes arrives, and they just say, okay, Blazes, you get to have a kill. There you go, buddy. Pat him on the head. And they take down the bear, removed once more. 3 deaths now for Ryu.
Be a turret as well, because there's no response from the side of BTS. Glory's going back to the mid lane. He's lost 2 plates just through pressure from Blazes, and okay, they don't have quite enough time to kill the tower, but it's still
they do get it with this wave.
They get it down eventually. I meant GLX in the top lane.
Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, BTS absolutely picked this tower up, which is good for them. It keeps them still within that 2,000 gold lead. But they need to stem this bleeding in the top lane. They need to get Ryuk out. They need to start switching their lanes around. And it's because it's just not working out for them. And they need to find a way to hold on. Poor Ryuk, he's suffering.
Yeah, he really, really is, but he picked a fairly immobile champion into a pretty easy gank setup. Maybe just read, GLX, 𝘁𝗀 always just goes 0-4, but he does that because he gets ganked a lot. So when it turns around, 𝘁orn hits the bench, Killer Queen comes in. Turns out they can gank for 𝘁𝗀. And it's put them that 2,000 gold ahead A lovely position for GLX. They're very happy with it as things slow down a little bit.
Yeah, we're finally seeing the swap come through. No Rift Herald or any sort of objective up at the moment, but it is close to spawning. But Big Koro and Elio, they mostly just want to be getting into the lane and trying to push in and get towers for themselves. It also buys a little bit of alone time for Ryuk. However, leaving him
in a lot of trouble. He stride breaks, he flashes. Can they actually get any more CC on him? He dominuses as well, but he will go down in the end. They can't bail him out. Finally, 𝘀𝗀, maybe a little bit more familiar with that kind of situation.
Yep, they finally gained 𝘀𝗀, and it nets them a kill, and it's going to net them a lot of tower damage. Not going to get it this wave, but there's no real response, so they might end up with the turret anyway. 𝘀𝗀 hanging out in the river, trying to get this crab.
We'll get it as well.
Okay, the pressure is enough to send the bot lane of BTS running.
Yeah, and I think they should have ran a bit further. Oh, never mind. 𝘀𝗀 getting absolutely smackarooed. Glory comes in from the teleport. 𝘀𝗀 cannot rejoin this fight. The Lilting Lullaby on cooldown as well. A few rockets shine, dissuade the play. And
Ever a
BTS back
familiar
off.
sight. The old familiar side of a Volibear ulting out of the fight.
Yeah. 𝘀𝗀 will not land, but BTS with full pressure now for this Rift Herald.
Yeah, but they have to take this Rift Herald because Blazes has been left on his own in this bot side. He is going to take this turret down quite fast. Ryuk trying to get down there, but he's not going to get there in time. So they pick this up. They can try and rotate that into the mid lane for some pressure. But because of this, they also give up positioning on the dragon, and that's even better for 𝘀𝗀 and the rest of GLX to just snap that and get their snowball going, keep their damage numbers up, let Blazes assassinate, let Shine be that hyper carry. Ooh, okay, that was a little bit close.
A little bit close there, but 𝘀𝗀 does secure the dragon. It's a second one now for GLX. Still a long way from any soul as, 𝘀𝗀, very risky, but 𝘀𝗶𝗀 there. They do manage to clear out the wave. Save that tower for now at least. Blazes reinforces as there is a very deep 𝘀𝗀 playing a little bit of subterfuge, but he gets out.
The sneaky Viking. But he's just going to wander out, yeah. And really, GLX have looked so much better with 𝘀𝗀 and 𝘀𝗶𝗀, and 𝘀𝗶𝗀 probably providing a lot of direction, and 𝘀𝗀 putting that direction into use, going for these aggressive evades at the start. It didn't exactly work out as they had to give up the double scuttle, but he's made his way into the top lane time and time again, and he has gotten his team these 3 kills that they have used to work into about a 2k gold lead. Unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to find anything since then that hasn't been traded back, but their main advantage is these dragons that they've been able to pick up. That's about the only lead they've gotten since about 10 minutes. So good work on BTS for trading across the map, but GLX not trading up in gold, but trading up in objectives and stats overall.
Yeah, this one's hard to call. GLX continuing to build the lead, but it's by no means over. But Blazes makes an aggressive move, but with Elio arriving, just backs away. Doesn't want to take any super big risks. As we do look at the gold graph here, we can see it's big leads for GLX, except for that ADC position. And Shine is going to become more and more important as this game goes on.
Yeah, Shine going to scale a lot better than Big Koro. However, they are starting from a lower position in effectiveness. So they both end up very strong late game AD carries, but Shine has a little bit more to work with, I feel. Having that extra range on the rocket form. Really going to be up against the Glory mostly in terms of what they try to accomplish. Blazes, though. Blazes is going to be a big threat to this backline. So is 𝘀𝗀, who is having a very, very good time for himself.
Yeah, it's not going to be super easy for either team to navigate these team fights. The front to back, there's not going to be too much front to back. It's going to be a lot of diving in. I know Yulwei was talking about how he would have liked to see GLX perhaps pick a little bit more of a front line, help out Shine, but Blazers, he's on that Echo, and he isn't going to do much to help his own ADC. He's just going for the other one.
They're playing, but they are at the moment playing these side lanes very effectively. They're keeping the pressure down onto them, but we're seeing sort of the inverse of what happened last game. BTS now has their mid lane turret up, and they can keep their responses quick. They have fast response times to be able to keep things happening. The extra pressure on the mid lane, thanks to the 𝘀cie turret, which is now going down, means that the side lanes have to be a lot more careful because the mid lane cannot respond to rotations as easily. However, that said, this game has been a bit of a letdown from 𝘀𝗀. He has been so slow on the map. He hasn't been responding to any of 𝘁𝗁 moves, and 𝘁𝗁 has responded to all of his extremely effectively.
The game in general has just slowed down massively. Just getting a little bit sleepy over here. We've got 5 kills at 20 minutes. We're meant to be watching the VCS. God.
Very different from yesterday.
Yeah.
Very different from yesterday.
Exactly. I liked yesterday. It was good fun. I want these teams to start having a little bit of PvP, a little bit of combat. That's why we come to the VCS. Come on, lads. Somebody hit somebody.
40 seconds. The next dragon's going to be up. That's going to be a very important one for GLX. If they can grab that gives them that huge amount of pressure and makes BTS have to fight early with that gold disadvantage. That's it. I mean, again, we keep harping on it. It's only 2,000, and that's becoming less and less. So if you look down towards the items, you're really only seeing the disparity in that top lane where it's a completed Randuin's to a Giant's Belt rather than anything else. But then you go down to the bot lane, and there's a completed collector for 𝘁𝗀. So everything looking about the same, but the top and mid, those are the power points for GLX. And can Blazers get the kill onto 𝘁𝗀? If yes, that's a very easily one-team fight for the side of 𝘀𝗀cie.
I'll have to say is there is 𝘁𝗀 playing with fire a little bit, but he is an accomplished firefighter. Gets away. Swirl Seed from 𝘁𝗁 will not land. As BTS wants to pick up their second Drake, really delay any soul shenanigans.
They need to keep an eye on
But
𝘁𝗁.
look at this. Here's the flank. They've tracked this flank well, though. They know exactly where they are. And they're going to collapse forward. They find 𝘁𝗁. Double Zhonya's is pretty strong. Into the flash over the wall. And look at this. The engage is coming in. Ryu comes flying forward. No. Shine gets the first kill. Gets excited. Goes on in. It's 2 kills. It's looking like a third as well, as glory will not be glorious. Ryu pays another dire price as GLX stomp the fight. It looked bad, but 𝘁𝗁 was a statue for so long that GLX walked home with an Oscar, and they'll pick up the dragon, and it looks like they'll pick up the Baron.
They're going to pick up everything. They can split their attention between the mid turret as well, because it was a clean 5-0. 𝘁𝗀 messes up his timing on the bind, and that just means they cannot do anything. They lose 𝘁𝗁. Shine is over the wall, hailing in rockets. And they get completely blown up in the choke point. Too much AoE damage from the side of 𝘀𝗀cie, and BTS gets completely blasted in the team fight. Ryuk is just getting completely destroyed. 1-4 this game. We're going to see the replay now. That just a good pick, starts off with a good pick, but they can't follow up the CC onto 𝘁𝗁. See? Far too early.
𝘁𝗁.
Far too early, and then Shine is just in a perfect position.
4-man sleep as well.
Yeah. More damage was done to GLX by the dragon than the members of BTS, and it was disgusting. Shine just being able to flash over the walls to clean it up, untouched. And now he's 3-0-1. He's now firmly ahead of 𝘁𝗀. He is now very happy with his position. Plus, he has 2 Infernal Drakes, and in 5 minutes, they're going to go for the third. They've got the Baron on top of that. They're going to get so far ahead, and GLX may have just found the break to win this series.
They may well have. This is going to be hard now for the 𝘀𝘀 boys. But definitely not over. We cannot write them off. They've just got to survive this Baron buff. They've still got 𝘀cie on the Azir. Hasn't gone for that second item Demonic Embrace this game. Just going straight into the Zhonya's. Makes sense against the team comp. Ooh, 𝘀𝘀. Doesn't quite land the flash hook.
But Shine very aggressively stepping forward there. He knows he's very safe with that lantern. Nice try from 𝘁𝑺, but the lantern was still on the ground, so not really sure that was ever going to amount to anything. And look at this pressure. There's just Blazes on the side lane. They've got the cannon minion in the mid. They are just taking everything outside the base, and they can even try and push in to take the base itself because no one can answer Blazes.
Yeah, Blazes is just playing threatening. A little bit of a misplay here, though. Oh, that was actually really stupid out of Blazes. Wow. But it does get 𝘁𝗀𝗀 teleported into the backside. He dies BTS mistake. That was just real dumb from Blazes.
Yeah, big car.
Mistakes happen.
It's not gonna happen too bad as they do get the start and are looking for more.
Ryuk having to jump away. He's taking so much damage. Shine is just massive at this point. But there's a big scoop out of 𝘀cie. Trying to turn it around. The Emperor is here. And 𝘁𝗶𝗹𝗀 ascends, if only for a moment, as BTS keep this game interesting.
This man has been playing a lot of the new Legends of Runeterra expansion because he is feeling this Emperor. He is feeling Ascended, and he has taken matter into his own hands, picking up 2 kills for his team. And that is exactly what BTS need. It's a bit of wind under their sails. They claw the gold lead back a little bit. They're still 6,000 gold behind, though. They're still down 2 Infernal Drakes. Their Ocean Drake, it means absolutely nothing. It's mostly worthless as an individual Drake. So they're still in the very deep hole, but this is a good start. And 𝘀cie, he's building more tank items in that Demonic Embrace. Well, tank. But that's what he needs. He needs to be able to survive these fights. He needs to be able to survive Blazes and 𝘁𝗀𝗀 diving on top of him. He needs to be able to survive these big scoops to catch Shine unawares.
And it's going to be absolutely mission critical that he does get the scoop onto Shine. We saw what it did in that fight. Jinx has very, very little counterplay to getting Azir like that. Obviously, Flash is about all she can do, but Jinx as a champion, nothing. So if that hits, it does. And if they kill Shine, they don't actually have too hard a time winning the team fight on the back of it, but killing Shine is not as easy as it may sound. 10 seconds on Drake. This is
it. This is the make or break. If 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀 is able to get this smite down, they win. They basically win the game.
𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀. It's a lot of damage. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 misses the ultimate though. Ryuk dives on forward. They're on top of Shine. Can the Olaf get the kill? He misses one axe. Can he bring down the E? He can. 1 for 1, but that's all worth. And the health bar lead is firmly for BTS. The Dragon still having a nap. Surprised he hasn't been woken up by this ruckus from the neighbors. But Blazes is just too scary. None of them can step up to him. They pull the Drake. They can't let this happen.
𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀's still up, so BTS can't even try and burst it down themselves. They have to kill the Lilia. They have to get her down, but Blazes is just too threatening on the side.
A lot of swirl seeds landing as well, but they get on top of Blazes. The chrono shift is used. They're doing it. They get down Blazes. That's massive. 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀 zoned away. And 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is back on the map in about 7 seconds. They just need to keep buying time. GLX don't want to let this rest.
𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀's looking for the teleport.
Yeah,
𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀's looking to teleport back in. But
there's the rocket.
Complete whiff.
Drifts
but
on by.
Have to be careful. You can't let 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀's still trying to sneak this away. 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is being chased in by 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀.
Yeah, they kill 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, but look on the other side. They're just going to try and take the dragon. Can they burst it down in time? They can't. 𝘀𝘀𝗀 on a shred of health, but now Shine has rejoined the fight. But the most important member is 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀. Dragon secured. BTS continue to fight.
They continue to fight. They drag the gold lead back by another 2,000. 𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is back on the map. Ryuk has teleport. They're going to try and go for this Baron as well. This is a lot. This could be where BTS burst their way back into the game. The sky is open for them, but Lilia is still alive and can still haunt them with that steal.
There's a swirl seed landing in. It hits onto 𝘀𝗀𝗺. He goes to bed. Is it you going to get forward, 𝘁𝗀𝗰𝗀? No! I'm not even sure why you step up that far if you're not going to go for it, son! Come on! 𝘁𝗀𝗀 goes down to Blazes. Ryuk is going to fall as well. And the excitement is showing from Shine. It's a 2 for 2. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 goes gold. Look at 𝘀𝗀𝗺 charging on forward. It's Ragnarok and roll. And Big 𝘁𝗀𝗀 comes in. It's the killer instinct. It's the kills picked up. The spears charge forward. And BTS secure the Baron and secure the fight.
They're completely back in the game now. They've picked up the Baron. They're still down in the hole, but they have so much standing gold on the map. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 is coming alive. So is Big 𝘁𝗀𝗀. He's picked up 4 kills in like the last 10 minutes. And look at this. Killer Queen, he's zoned out by
Why are
𝘁𝗀𝗀.
you there if you're not going to go in? If you're not going to run for the smite, why step up that close?
Smite. He doesn't have smite. I don't know.
Then why
so
then
he
don't
ends up
run that close?
So he ends up wasting time. Blazes, it looks good for them, but Big 𝘁𝗀𝗀 realizes attack the pincer. Good stuff from 𝘁𝗀𝗀. Good Zhonya's to stop that. And then 𝘀𝗀𝗺, he is just tanky enough, has his own stopwatch to stop the kill back. It's so close. It's on a knife's edge, but we are back into a game that anyone can win. And in 3 minutes, we're going to have to go through all that all over again.
Yeah, I'm going to need that 3 minutes just to catch my breath, as it has been a game that was quite boring for a while. It was a very resident sleeper game. It's woken up very nicely. They were just hibernating, getting us ready. Now,
this is going to be
the ADCs is very real.
This is going to be the tankiest Zero in the world. He has got...
Yeah.
He has
Very
got
late on the
Demonic
burning
Grace,
barrier.
Sonya's, gonna get a Banshees. He's got the Merc Treads as well. What does he finish it off with? Does he go for a Randuin? Who knows? Probably not. Probably more likely avoid stuff, but that's still a very strong Azir. Very difficult to get through, and it is working out for BTS. He has done so much for this team in the past few minutes. And now they're sieging onto this mid lane inhibitor. We've got Blazes in the side lane, but he's backing off. He doesn't want to give. He doesn't want to go for the trade. He needs to be
onto the Thresh. They follow it up, but I don't know if this is the right call here, as a lot of damage is being done onto 𝘀𝗀𝗺. So much damage coming out of 𝘁𝗁 as well. I feel like they overcommitted to the support. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 goes low. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 has to get back out. There's the first kill. 1 for 1, but it's Jinx going down. This inhibitor secured. Does BTS want to keep on going? 3v4. It's
they
risky.
have basically 2 ADCs. They can still do it. There's not a lot of engage.
Yep.
The main damage dealer is down.
Yep, there's a big stun out of 𝘁𝗀𝗀 as well. They're on top of 𝘀𝗀𝗺. Can they blow up 𝘁𝗀𝗀? He's the one that matters. They get him. 𝘁𝗁 goes down in exchange. Killer Queen will get one. Blazes, this is it, son. Are you an Inferno or are you a birthday candle? Right now, it's looking like a raging bushfire as he managed to keep things locked down. Can he get forward onto Big 𝘁𝗀𝗀? Not the time, Mr. Swirly Wheel. Go away. And they will survive for now.
Neither has Flash, but Chorus is up in just a second, so he can always get away. That's gonna be a bit of a victory for the side of GLX. They managed to hold on, and but it could have been so much worse. BTS got a little overconfident with the death of Shine, but Blazes, he is still a 3-item echo. He still does a lot of damage to these squishy members. But we still have 40 seconds left till this dragon and GLX are in a much better position. Their cooldown time is shorter. They have teleport on 𝘁𝗁. There's no teleport on 𝘁𝗀𝗧. 𝘀𝗀𝗺 still has to run the entire way. GLX are going to be in a very good position for this dragon.
Yep, it's going to have to be BTS coming into GLX. That suits Shine just fine. But in the last few fights, he has been getting caught out. So it's going to be important that this Jinx executes well. Blazes steals away the blue buff. Ryuk not able to secure that. Ooh, Banshees just got popped from 𝘁𝗀𝗀. The Zap just popped the Banshees. 𝘁𝗁 has been turned to gold. But Lantern is very good. It's going to
Yeah,
be the
the dragon's being
5v5.
started up now.
On the side, Blazers and Ryuk having a scrap. The bear has to
get
back
in.
off. Drakthar, he's coming forward. Can he get the smite? Who's it going to be? It's going to be 𝘀𝗰𝗶𝗹𝗀! There he is! Dynamite with a laser beam! And he secures the soul for GLX. They'll get Elio as well. They're going to continue going forward. But look at there it is. 𝘀𝗀, can he do it? 𝘁𝗀𝗀 dives into the backside. He picks up one. Now it's a 3v3, 3v2. As Blazers with the ultimate. But look at the damage on 𝘀𝗀𝗀. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 can do this. And they burn down the Elio as well. It's 1v1 on the map. 𝘁𝗀𝗀's on full health.
He doesn't have the ult. He can't get in onto Blazers, but he can go down and try and take this turret. It's all on Blazers. They've got the super minions in. He has a lot of damage though. Like it's like, come on, Koro, what can you do?
If he gets on top of Blazers, he instantly kills him. But it's the same in reverse. I think we're just gonna reset, and it's round 3.
It's round 3, but GLX, they come out with the massive victory here. Oh, there's so much going on, but the thing is, Ryuk is completely zoned out at the start, and so GLX are just hammering on this dragon. 𝘀𝗀𝗀 decides to shove the midway for no reason, and that means they can't contest the dragon. Of course, with that, GLX gets very hyphy and goes all in for this fight, but some heroics out of 𝘀𝗀𝗀 at the end. So much damage coming out of him, and 𝘁𝗀𝗀 getting onto the other side, being a distraction,
there's a
which
Baron.
allows 𝘀𝗀𝗀 to just take it down. And yep, Baron's coming on.
Yeah, it's 2,000 health. This is going to be picked up by BTS. They secure the buff.
No contest. We're getting into 6 item territories now. We've got complete items on the side of, well, actually nobody, but we're getting there. We're very close. QSS picked up for 𝘁𝗀𝗀, so he can be even more aggressive. Void's coming in for 𝘁𝗀𝗀. Only has the blighted jewel at the moment, but we're getting there. There's a lot. Pretty much everyone is dead, even in itemization.
Yeah, at this point, the gold lead is basically irrelevant. It's essentially Dragon Soul versus Baron buff. We have to see if Shine can actually execute this jinx. He has not been able to do it the last few fights. There has been way too much dive in on top of him and not enough peel. Yulwei, your predictions of maybe they should have picked some peel coming true. Truly a big brain. The minions walked on in it. They have to clear this super minion. Shine will do it very quickly, but every time he steps up to fire a rocket, he's taking a risk.
Careful, look at 𝘁𝗀𝗀. He's hanging around looking for the flank.
Oh, but Killer Queen, he's been turned to gold. The tower being focused down. Look at this. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 goes in, gets the big scoop, but they've immediately killed Blazers. Even through the ultimate, where is Shine? He's trying to find his way out of it, but he can't do it. BTS go forward. They take down GLX. This game was closer than it had any right to be, 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. And it's a triple kill for Koro. The in-here respawn. Well, we get to bask in it for a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. The death timers are far too long. BTS, it's not clean, it's messy, it's grimy, but it's a win.
And it's the win they absolutely needed to keep their season alive. Their playoff dreams, the miracle run, it's still on the books. However unlikely it is, the miracle run, the dream's still alive.
The dream is still alive. We'll be going quickly back to the VCS English analyst desk. That's right, Rakan. We do scream about that game. It was a big one. Yulwei, what was your take?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. There was a lot of back and forth. Holy moly. I thought 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 was the answer. He had such an amazing early game, bringing his team ahead for the first time in weeks, it feels like. And then...
Yep.
In the end, BTS is still the better late game team. Heroics, as you said, especially from the side of 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. Holy moly. Those late game team fights from 𝘁𝗀𝗀. That is probably the last time we see 𝘁𝗀𝗀 for a while for this team, because he's getting a big nerf in 11.5. But man, oh man, did 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 profit from this 𝘁𝗀𝗀. Going in there, Shine, no protection. He got caught again and again. Not much he could do. Actually, I thought Shine had a pretty good game, especially with the one team fight. I thought that sealed the game for them. But then, overstep from Blazers, delays the Baron push. They get back with the big pick, and then it's all chaos from there. 46 kills. Not quite the 55 from yesterday. That came pretty close.
But you gotta
After
remember,
5 games in 20 minutes? Yeah.
Exactly. those last kills came real quick.
Yeah, we had
really,
like 30 kills in 10 minutes. That's ridiculous.
That was pretty insane. Oh, we've got to go recover. There is some water to be had, some tea with some honey to recover my ailing throat. We'll be back in probably about half an hour for our second series tonight. It should be just as much fun. Hope to see you there, guys. We hope you are enjoying the show. If you are, please support us on Patreon, donating to the stream, or subscribing to the stream. It really helps us. We do need it to keep on going. You can also follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, all in the links below. Our Discord community is where VCS English began. It is very, very active, always constantly talking. And Rakan, he's telling me to go to break. He's telling me to go to break, so let's go to break.